Well, good afternoon. Mickey or AMG, if you give me a sound check, just let me know the sound's all right. Make sure I turn the bloody microphone on. Sound check. Anybody listening? Get that off. All right, we'll have that up there. Boogie. Tiffany, good afternoon, sweetheart. Is the sound okay? Can you hear me? Come on, 5 of you in here. Somebody must be able to hear me, surely. Afternoon, Bon. Rob, good afternoon, mate. You can hear me. That's brilliant. Thank you, Tiff. Because with nobody else in the panel, I don't know whether anybody can hear me or not. As you can see, I'm trying a different camera position today. There is the link up there if anybody wants to come on. I've only got room for 6. I'm cheapskate. I've only got the free StreamYard. And to be honest, I don't know how long's left on that. But if anybody wants to come on, drop in. Obviously, the rules apply in here, same as everywhere else. Unless I know you and I recognise you in the pictures, you in the video, you will be asked to do something. But hopefully we can have an argument-free few hours this afternoon. There's been too much of that going on lately. Anybody else coming in? Anybody else coming in? I know Pap's got an interview today. I've got one tomorrow morning. All right, Bon, could you give us a wave, mate?
It's me. Hello.
Good afternoon, mate. How are you?
Not too bad. Yourself, Rosie? You keeping well?
Yeah. I had a bit of a lay-in this morning. I was on a stream last night. I only was going to go in for an hour, and I think I was in there for about 3 hours. By the time I'd regained consciousness this morning, the missus had got up and gone to work and left me in bed. So. All right.
I've been staying off of streams in an evening because I find my brain gets too wired. I can't get to sleep at night.
Yeah, well,
the
problem with me is I used to do lots and lots of shift work on 3 different jobs. And my body just got into this irregular sleep pattern, and it's just carried on, you know. It buggers me, right? With the fatigue as well. I very rarely get a full night's sleep. So when I am well asleep, the missus will leave me alone if she doesn't need to disturb me, like, you know.
Well, I've been a couple of wee jobs on myself through the week. This last week or so, so I've been looking in at Glenn's just for as an outsider looking in and coming into the side chat now and again. But
yeah,
been bailing out about 10:30 at night. But I did see Nathan losing the plot the other night.
We were all losing the plot, mate. But he just won't let things drop. Once he come over onto this on my channel and made a comment on one of my videos, I won't allow him on my channel.
Oh,
you know, I can't speak for Glyn and Pat, but
no,
I don't want him in here. You know,
I always want that problem. If you've nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all, really.
Exactly. And the ones that raise to him are the ones that are giving him what he wants, basically.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Holly, sweetheart. Mwah. It's my little darling AMG Rider band. You're not banned in here, mate. As long as you behave yourself. If it gets that bad, I'd have to ban myself, wouldn't I?
You know, they're getting banned.
Oh, I did when Pat put me in as a mod on his channel for somehow. I don't know. I timed myself out. I'm still getting used to StreamYard. That's why I was putting pictures up and shit earlier on. It's I'm not that technically minded, shall I say?
Well, that makes two of us, and I'm proud of it.
Well, I was arguing with the WDP phoned me this morning because of my condition and long-standing illness. Now it's not going to go away, apparently. Obviously, I've got to claim certain benefits. So they wanted to do one of these video assessments, which is fair enough.
Oh,
You know, I know you got to go through all the crap. Well, I've been waiting 5 months for this now, so it's all going to be backdated anyway. But they phoned me this morning and said, oh, apparently you had problems with the internet. She said, what, you don't know how to use it? I said, no, I just don't like it.
No, I don't think that myself. I'm not very sure how to use it.
What they've said is, well, we can do it through your phone. I said, no, you can't, because I don't connect it to the internet. I said, but what you can do is send me an email with the link in it, and I can click straight in it. I said, if there's any issues, I said, my missus is at home tomorrow. She uses a computer all day, so she's going to help me, like, you know. Oh, you're going to have someone sitting in on the interview? I said, no, I'm actually going to be recording it. oh, I don't know if you can do that. I said, well, don't call me then. I said, but I record everything I do. And she, well, yeah, I've just checked. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. And of course, with my memory lapses and what have you, I use that as an excuse. So, well, look, I won't remember what's said unless I've got it recorded and go back to it when I need to, you know.
For a point of reference. Yeah.
I mean, I've got, as you can see, I've got, even when I'm doing my videos, I've got notes everywhere.
Yeah.
It's literally because I lose what I'm doing, lose what I'm saying if the memory slips.
I think we're all getting that. I think we're all going that way, Roger. I think it's to do with old age. It catches up on us all, eh?
Well, it started quite a few years ago. I mean, I didn't realise. I had a blood clot on the brain about 8 years ago. I spent quite a few weeks in hospital. And the missus said my mood had changed a bit. My memory had started to go. And I couldn't see it, but she could, looking in from the outside, you know. And then I
notice a change.
Move that back over there. I don't like that over there. I can't look at things properly. Just means you've got a bigger ugly mug to look at. And then after the 4 strokes, the TIAs, it got a bit worse. And then, as you know, a couple of weeks ago, I flaked out on Paps Live. I went out in the hallway, went to get some fresh air because I was feeling a bit fuzzy, and I collapsed in the hall. So, you know, it's not going to get any better. It's just something I've got to learn to live with and deal with, you know.
I think you'll find that the DSS, or whatever they call themselves nowadays, that strangely enough, they will, if you're a genuine case, they're there to help you. And it's just a case of got to establish that you're genuine.
Yeah, you've just got to keep on it. You've got, I mean, it can take up to 2-3 years for your bloody PIP payments to be sorted out.
Aye.
Always got to go and have one better. Yes, Dan. Good afternoon, buddy. How are you? But no, it was actually Dan's in the chat there. Now, it was actually something he said a couple of weeks ago on a live. Now, I was always trying to give him advice on, you know, what it's all about. and I wasn't taking my own advice, basically. I was up till all hours doing all sorts of things. And Dan reminded me of that on the live the other week. And no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to stop all the different lives in the evenings, just the odd one or two, and get my sleep patterns back on an even keel, or as close as I could. And it is starting to work even after just a week.
As much as I enjoy being on the late night chats on Glenn's channel, it does knock your body clock for a Burton. And I find when you go off the chat, say late on in early hours of the morning, 1 o'clock or later, your brain, you're going to yourself, I am tired, but you go to your bed and you're wide awake, you can't get to sleep.
You can't shut your brain down.
No, and that was a problem I found out, because I have been on one of Glenn's chats for over a week at night. And I enjoy the crack on there. You get a good laugh. The majority of the folk on there are a good bunch of lads, and you get a good laugh, and you speak about all sorts of ways until somebody does something that's not etiquette, shall we say? Yeah,
it has got a bit out of control lately, but Glenn's starting to take control a bit more now. It's only. I'm not going to go into it on here because I don't want it to transfer over here, but let's just say there was some disagreements, and what the conclusion was that one person couldn't let it drop. So it's a shame. But yeah, Glenn's learning. You know, he's still reasonably new to, well, I'm reasonably new to all this, but he's even more so. Manda, good afternoon, my darling. See, this is what the missus finds strange, is I got a lot of female subs.
Well, it must like your charm, yeah, Roger.
I've always, when I first started, mate, I said if I can reach 500 subs, that will be absolutely brilliant. I wouldn't want to go any bigger, simply because I like to keep in personal touch with everybody. If someone makes a comment, if I can answer it straight away, I will. You know, I don't like to keep people hanging on. It's, you know, we only have eyes for you, Roger. Yes, thank you, darling. Wizard, good afternoon. And the best bit, the missus joins in with this. You know what I mean? It's
the main thing. It's a bit of fun at the end of the day. In the end of the day, it's a harmless bit of fun, and nobody's getting hurt, and nobody's doing anything they shouldn't be doing.
I mean, all the girls in here, several of them I've met personally, so is my missus. And I class them more as friends, you know, not just subscribers. To me, they're friends. And the missus knows that, and she's always come out with the rule is you can look at a menu anywhere as long as you eat at home.
Why have mince when you've got steak at home, eh?
Exactly. But no, she enjoys coming on, and she backs me in everything I do. Even when I was doing the dangerous sports and that, she was always behind me.
I enjoy when you put up the stuff you did when you were younger, and I think me and you would have gone like a house on fire if I'd have known you, because you were like, as we say up here, a gay lad, and you like to laugh, and I think me and you would have gone like a house on fire, because I was a bit of a dafty myself.
I set out in life when I left home very, very early because I didn't get on with my family. I said, I'm going to rip the shit out of life. I'm going to do what I want to do when I want to do it. If there's anything I want to try and learn, I'm going to learn it. And I moved around several places, and I ended up most of my years in Cornwall. And I enjoyed every bit of it. We had so many different adventures and fun, and you know, I've got the biking experience. I used to be in the bike clubs. I've raced cars. I've worked as a fisherman. I've worked as a brickie. My last job was cutting grass and maintenance. You know, I'm master of jack of all trades, master of none. Put it that way.
Well, I've only got one trade, and I'm no bad at it compared to some of the so-called trades when I come across in my travels. My apprenticeship, my journeyman was what I call an old school painter, and he showed you how to do things properly and taught you the tricks of the trade. Yeah, and because I can do that, I can go and do some very nice finished work for some very influential and wealthy customers. They're willing to pay what you ask for.
I mean, I had a mate of mine So I've been gradually working for a load of photographs to put to one side for the missus to digitalise for me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my mate, where is the picture? I can't even remember which bloody album it's in now. I've moved around that much that a lot of my pictures have gone missing, and of course they were all before digital cameras.
Yeah.
So I've got to try and find them, and it's an absolute nightmare at times. And a lot of them are scratched, and I thought I had it here just now. No, not in there.
Well, you're a bit like myself. We are from the non-digital age.
Yeah, exactly. It's
and I still work the old pen and paper.
What a lot of people don't understand with me is when I started it. But here's one for Lost Souls. Remember, I said I found one of the kids. That was actually about 2 days before the last time I saw them, and that is over 20 years ago now. No, 40 years ago, because I was in my 20s. Been in touch once with my daughter, but that's the only contact I've had with them in over 40 years.
No.
Well, my choice to start it that way, but it was their choice to leave it that way. They always had an avenue to contact me if they wanted it, but they never did. So that's what it was back then, sweetheart. Lost Souls. She come off the pill without telling me. We were living together in my house that I'd bought before I even met her. And she come off the pill the first time and got pregnant. We'd split up a while before she'd told me. But being the sort of bloke I am and family pressures at the time, I married her. And I thought, okay, yeah, she did wrong, but let's make a go of it, you know. And she turned out to be a right lazy bitch. She wouldn't work, even when Litland was being looked after by my mum. And we were having a few issues. I won't, go around the bush about it. But she done exactly the same again. She didn't tell me she come off the pill. She thought having another kid would keep me. And at that point, I said, look, I can't trust you. And as far as I'm concerned, if you ain't got any trust in your partner, you haven't got a relationship.
Very true. Very true.
The kids I knew were that young that they could grow up without me being there. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong, they're great kids, apparently. She's remarried. She actually lived in the same village as me, just outside Bristol, for 4 years while I had a house there. But luckily enough, we never met. I don't hate them, Tiffany. It's just that back then there was women that would do that. And I never left them desolate. I mean, I sold the house. She moved back with her mother. When I sold the house, the money I got, I left in trust for them. So I never paid maintenance, but they got more a month than they would have done if I had have. And I had the CSA chase me up. They said, well, you should have been paying like 200 odd something pound a month. I said, fine, I'll pay you 200 odd pound a month, but I'll stop the 500 she gets now if that's all right with you. And she said, well, we don't know nothing about that. I said, you don't need to. And I slammed the door in her face and never saw him again. But I used to send them Christmas cards and birthday cards every year up until about 10 years ago. And I never got anything back from them, not even a Christmas card or anything, or a birthday card. So I went, right, sod it, I'll stop it. You know, it was one of them things. A lot of people have been through it. I know a lot of people in here have been through it, you know. It wasn't any violent confrontations or anything like that. It was just, we just weren't suitable for each other.
Parting of the waves.
And she wanted to know about the divorce and that. I said, well, just put it down to adultery. she said, well, I can't lie. I said, we won't be, because I am actually seeing somebody else now. It was a girl I used to work with, realised what was going on and just said, look, if you ever need a space to get your head down, I've got one. And I took her up on it. And it just went that way, as it does with me usually. Or did back then.
Yeah, right.
That was the other one. Where's that bloody photograph gone? I hate this. When I start losing photographs, well, that one that was about 3 months after we separated, and I decided to take 2 on holiday with me.
Well, as I say, that would have kept you busy, eh?
Yeah, but it didn't stop there, because once we found the nice bar, the barmaid weren't bad either.
Aye, well, probably less said about that the better, eh, Roger?
The funny thing is, I mean, most of my subs in here that know me well enough know I used to be a player when I was young. I'll make no bones about it. I wouldn't abuse women, but if they wanted, well, fine. You know, it's consensual as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But I took the missus down to Newquay just after we first met. Sat outside my local pub, but we never had to pay for a drink all bloody weekend down there. Every time I turned around, there was a drink on the table. And as she was sat by the gateway into the patio area, there's all these girls coming up to us. You know, me and Roger used to be a thing. You know, we used to be an item, didn't you? And she said, how many have you actually been through down here? And that's how she put it. I said, well, put it this way. The ones that walk past the pub and don't call in to say hello, they're the ones that haven't had the pleasure yet. It was funny as hell, mate. We've had, the adventures have continued since I met her. Some of the things we've done and where we've been, it's just amazing.
Yeah, life's for enjoying. You were only here for a short time, not a long time, Roger, so you need to enjoy yourself.
I do, mate. I've got probably 3 good close lads around here that are real good mates of mine. They're a bit younger than me. I think the eldest one's about 41. But we used to ride the mountain bikes together. And what is really nice, I mean, I haven't been able to ride for a few years now, obviously, because of injury and illness. But they still call in. At least one of them calls in every week to make a check, make sure I'm all right, make sure there's nothing I need, you know. And that to me is great. That's proper friendship. Like the guys in here, Pap will ring me, I'll ring him. You know, I thought I would be tearing, well, what hair I got left out, sat at home all the time. But I've made so many friends on here that I don't need to get bored. If I can't do anything around the house, I can sit down here and there's always somebody to have a chat with and, you know.
Shoot the breeze.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, sometimes it goes a bit awry and sometimes late at night, me and Pat bring the tone of the videos down a bit.
Nothing wrong with that. I can see nothing wrong with that.
No, but we try and keep that for the evening after the watershed.
In case there's any minors listening.
Yeah.
Don't
wait for all the irresponsible adults to go to bed.
Memories of youth.
Who else we got? Oh, Budge is afternoon. I nearly said evening then. Afternoon, Budge.
Hello, Budge. How you doing?
It was a nice quick live you put up this morning. Tiff, Birch, Paps. We always have fun on here. Yes, we do, Dan. And it doesn't matter which channel we're on, mate. I enjoy yours, as you know, immensely on a Sunday night. It's to the point where me and Heather work our day around it. If we got visitors, they're always kicked out before 8 o'clock. If we're eating, it's always done before 8 o'clock. It was like the old Cracker Jack. It's 8 o'clock. It's Pap Attack. Click on it. Are we live? No, we're not, Sarah.
No, this was just a pre-recorded 2 days ago.
This is the other thing that Heather noticed the other week. For a few months now, while I've been going through treatment and hospital visits and that, I've never considered myself being down. But and somebody else said it in the chat the other night. You've come alive again. You're back to your old self. That the comedies come back, the humours come back. You see something funny and everything. And well, yeah, you know, it's bringing myself out my shell again, as it were.
I've got quite a dark sense of humour as well. If there's anybody laughing at a funeral, you guarantee it's fucking me.
I'll tell you what. Well, Pat knows. I can have a very, very dark sense of humour. I mean, over the pandemic and other things, you know, I was coming out with cracks between me and the missus. She knows what I'm saying, and I would never ever say it on YouTube. You know, because I wouldn't want to offend anybody with that. You know, it's if you come out with a joke over somebody dying or death. There's every likelihood, don't matter where you do it, you're going to offend somebody or upset somebody. So I try not to do that side of it, you know. Same with the swearing. I mean, I very, very rarely swear, and I don't swear in public unless it's hit a copper, obviously. But that's why I was quite surprised over the last couple of weeks. I have been getting a bit raunchy, shall we say, in the chat. But it's one of them things that something gets you back up, and you got to, you know, say it how you feel it.
I was always told I should be in the diplomatic corps because I'm not diplomatic at all.
Well, that was always a part of my problem because when I was in the bike club, I actually held the position of enforcer on the committee, and you can imagine what that entails. So when I got involved in things like that, I never done a lot of talking, because that can lose your teeth. Hence, I got about 7 left on the bottom of my own. But we used to dish out the easy punishments as well, like for farting in a pub in polite company, you had to wear a mask and a snorkel for the rest of the day in the pub.
Bit of a dodger when you're trying to drink a pint.
Yeah. Even funnier when you watch them drowning trying to drink it through the frigging snorkel. Oh, here's a couple for AMG. Do that one first.
Is that V8 Rovers, aye?
It's the V6.
Or the V6, aye.
I bought it. The engine was rattling. And I bought it for about $5.5, $6 at the time. And the first thing I did was rip the lump out and send it off to X-Power, who done the tuning on the MG touring car from the BTCC. It came back with a full X-Pack blueprinted engine in it.
Oh, well. That'd have been a bit, yeah.
Bit of a street sleeper that one was, but I don't know why I just couldn't get on with front wheel drive. I like to steer from the rear.
Well, I'm a bit like that. It's these young lads nowadays. When you come up to a road and it's been dry for a few weeks at summertime. There's a little drizzle, and you come round the roundabout and you see all these BMWs up the side. These young lads that kind of learn to drive in a back wheel drive. Yep. You want to learn to drive. They want to learn how to do that. They want to start with a Morris Minor.
This is on the A30 going down to Cornwall. Now, we had a custom cruise. That's looking one way from where I took the picture.
Yeah.
That's looking the other way.
Oh.
Because some bright spark decided to stop everybody at a roundabout so he could count how many cars we had. He gave up counting after the first mile and a half of cars went past. And from about half hour after that, we actually got a police escort down into Cornwall.
See, where I stay up here in Aberdeenshire, you get nothing. You never get anything like that because of the lack of population. I suppose would be the answer to that. There is a few folk that pull things out their garages around here, but in the great scheme of things, it's not a lot. And if you want to go any decent car shows, you've got to go south.
Yeah,
there's a drag strip at Crail. There's a few, and more into Central Belt, can go to the shows and things like that.
Well, they're trying to stop it all now. I mean, they basically stopped people modifying cars. They've brought so many regulations in. And a lot of these, what they call outlaw meetings, where the lads come out the showground, you know, that they're power sliding up the road, they're doing burnouts. And there have been people killed doing it. And not so on that score, that they're cutting their own throats because the police will put a stop to that.
Well, exactly.
You know, show your car at the show. If it's a decent show, they'll have a burnout arena anyway, and don't do it on the roads, you know. But these youngsters don't listen.
No.
I mean, I used to do track days.
It's the same. It's the same in Aberdeen. We used to cruise Union Street, round all the back streets from the clubs, and then you'd have the Beach Boulevard, and you'd drag it, and they'd go nuts.
Yeah.
Now you can't drag the Beach Boulevard because they put in traffic lights. You can't any go up.
We used to have a big one at Western Supermare every year, the Western show. And it was great. It was on an old airfield, plenty of room, plenty of arena space. You know, if you wanted to go in and do a burnout, you booked in, done your burnout. But they put a stop to that because all the idiots were going into Western Supermare and racing up and down the seafront. They ruined it for themselves, you know. It's like a lot of things nowadays.
There's nowhere for young lads to go and hang out with their cars anymore because we used to go from Inverurie, used to float about Inverurie and let's go into Aberdeen, and you got into the beach and you obviously you knew a few of the lads.
Yeah, budge.
And even, but that doesn't happen anymore. The young lads don't hang about in the Beach Boulevard anymore, or on the square in Inverurie. It's all been basically kibosh with the cops.
Well, if they brought down the price of a track day, then a lot of the lads would go on that. But they're so expensive for them to take the cars on there. And you've got to do a lot to a standard car just to be able to get round the circuit more than twice. Yeah. You know, you've got to have the right brakes. You've got to have the right fluid. Otherwise, they'll just disappear.
And what kind of prices
Budgie, cheers for dropping in, mate.
See you later, Budge. What kind of prices are track day, Roger?
I wouldn't know now. I haven't done one for about 6-7 years.
What was the price back then?
We were paying, I think it was 115, 120 quid a day. You might get 3 sessions in the day, but I usually ended up getting thrown off the track after the first one for drifting anyway. So, yeah, they keep saying, "Oh, come back on the drift day when we have the drift day." I said, "Well, no, because you charge twice as bloody much for it." But it does damage the tracks. So, in fairness, yeah. But yeah, I got thrown off of one. Oh, it was hilarious. It was a racing school. My brother paid for us to for my birthday one year to go on the Formula Ford experience, as they call it. Now, I'd been racing cars for years. So we've gone up to Brands Hatch, and it was all instructors with saloon cars to start with. Then you had separate timed laps in your sort of single-seater after you'd had a bit of practice in that. And then at the end of the day, they had everybody on the track together as a race. But the rules were the instructor goes in the front and nobody's allowed to overtake the instructor. So I got black flagged and got pulled off the track on, I think it was lap 5. Right, you overtook the instructor. I said, well, get a faster instructor then. And they said, well, you were squealing your tyres, you were throwing the things sideways, you were all over the grass. He said, your car would have been wrecked by the end of the race. So I said, yeah, but you told me it was only 8 laps, so I knew it would last for that. They give me this little ticket, told me not to come back again.
See, the nearest track we've got for anything like that is Knock Hill.
Yeah. I've only ever been there once.
And that's a fair drive for me to go down there. I've only been there once, and that was strangely enough for a motorbike race. And
Yeah.
bikes aren't my cup of tea. I'm not really into motorbikes as I regard them. There's like 2 wheels missing. But I used to go with a woman at the time, and she was a biker, and she'd an R1. And well, she lost her license for speeding in that.
See you, Sue. Sorry about all the car talk. Anybody else want to come on? Come on, somebody else come on the panel and bring up a different subject.
Yeah,
We can bring
exactly.
it up in the chat. They've still got a photo of you behind reception with the words banned for. That wouldn't be surprising, Lost Souls. I wouldn't be at all surprised. I did get banned from a couple of oval tracks as well, but that was for revenge crashing, basically. Spin me round and wreck your car.
They've got a small figure of 8 track over at Arford. It's for the Grampian Transport Museum. It's a small figure 8 track, and it's not very big at all. And then there's I'm not sure if it still is, but there was one up beside Peterhead. I can't remember if it was, and that was well, we used to go up for the demolition derbies. That was a long time ago, but I can't ever remember.
Used to love the DDs. Well, that was one season's worth of trophies on our local oval track.
Right. Oh, you were rather good, Roger, eh?
I was track champion, I think it was 5 times on that one.
Aye.
I used to love it, mate. If we weren't drag racing or circuit racing, that was it. Let's get a couple of wreckers out the yard, put a couple together, go over the banger track and have a bit of a giggle. Like, you know, it was only 4 mile up the road, so we didn't have to drag them very far.
Lads have better access to things like that, whereas up here you're limited to what you can get, and then for local, if you want to call it local, and then if you want to go anything else, you've got to go south.
Yeah.
Crail is an old Air Force placed in at Fife, and that's got a fine long straight there, and that's where they used to do the drag race, and I've been doing it a few times, but that was still nearly a 3-hour drive to go down there. If you went down on a Sunday, you go down and there'd be folk showing various cars, so you go and I'd just take my dog with me, and me and him would go down, and we'd just have a day down there, and we'd walk around and look at the cars on show, try and pull them away if you want to go for a pee, guide them to a bush instead of cocking his leg in somebody's motor. And then we'd go and watch the drag racing and then come up. But it was a long day.
Yeah, it can be. I mean, we were quite lucky because only about a mile down the road from the oval track, the main oval track I used to race, there was a scrapyard. So if you needed anything for your car, it was only half hour to nip down there when you could go around the yards yourself, rip up what you needed and went back. Like. Good afternoon, Adrian. We got Adrian in the chat.
Oh, hello, Adrian.
So, Tony Garrett as well. Good afternoon, mate. Sorry I missed you earlier. There wasn't a video today. By the time I got up, I had a load of paperwork to go through for this interview tomorrow. And by the time I got through that, and with jumping on Budgies Live a bit quick, I didn't have time to do a video. I've got my notes, so you might get the news tomorrow or a day late.
I'll just be like the newspapers, wouldn't it?
Well, to be honest, I mean, you know, I watch all sorts on here. And at the moment, the only thing they're putting out is about the earthquakes. It's everywhere. You can't get away from it, like, you know.
Have you ever watched UK Column, Roger?
Occasionally. I don't watch a lot of the news channels on YouTube.
That's the only one I really watch. I get quite a lot of my news for there, but some of the stuff that they do is quite heavy going. The information
very controversial that I do drop in again on now and again, like, but it's like everything else. Everybody said, well, you can't trust mainstream media, but you can't trust what you see on here all the time, you know?
You need to make your own opinion. I watch various things and I make my own opinion with the information I get, and you think, oh well, that lad's speaking out his arse.
Yeah.
Or,
Well,
well,
what
maybe
I
he's
tend
right.
to do is I'll see a story or someone will mention a story, and I'll go and look behind that story. Why
Yeah.
is that story there? What built up to that story? Bit the same as Dan does on his channel. When he's got a report, he'll say, "This is not complete. I haven't got all the information. I'll come up with the information as and when I find it." You know, and you know it's factual. And
I
it's
do
the
like.
same.
I've only started watching part. I mean, I've come across him a couple of times, and that was a while ago, and I'd never met the man. But when I met him the other week there, he directed me to his channel, and I subscribed, and now I've subscribed. I've watched quite a good few of his videos, and I find them very informative and quite eye-opening, really. Some of them.
Yeah, and very well put together as well. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you looked at his other channel?
No, I
The
can't say I
IMA,
have. No.
the Independent Media Alliance. There's usually a link on all of his videos to it. It's a bit more specific subject-wise, but it's very eye-opening, mate. Very eye-opening, and there's a lot more to come from it as well.
Yeah. See,
do you want to run the whole list of links in there, Holly, while you're at it? Anybody else in the chat that we know? Yourself, Pap, any of them, if you want to bung the links up for them, your own.
I can't do the chat, and I can't do a talk to you, Roger, and see the chat. So I wouldn't do the chat. Yeah, I'm not that technically minded. I think you must need two things to work in to do that. But up here just now, there's a big hoo-ha with this gender recognition stuff. There was a young girl get overnight to doing it. Was it Gala Shields? The boy that claims he's a butcher, but now he's not. He was
there's lots of them out there.
Yeah, he kidnapped this young girl, and they found her the next day. And he's actually due up in court today. But he's also one of these folk that claims to be a woman when he's not. But there's going to be a lot of trouble over the heads of all this gender recognition stuff. I mean, the SNP up here are just an absolute. They're absolutely just. They've ruined Scotland. As a proud Scot, I want Fivers can run in the country up here to sort things out, like the health service, the roads, the schools, and that should be their priority. The SNP blame everything in independence. I think independence will solve everything, but they haven't got a clue. Their heads are so far up their arses, and I know plenty of folk that 20 years ago thought independence was a good thing, and now they're going no, and they were quite hardcore independence voters. Because
Cranky thought it was she was going to get the independence, but then when the EU told her no, we don't want it.
The thing, that's another thing. How can you say you want to be independent from the United Kingdom, but say you want to be part of the European Union? That's not independence. No. Independence is standing on your own 2 feet. And I know plenty of folk for 20 years ago that were, oh yes, Scotland should be independent, stand on their own 2 feet, and they wanted nothing to do with. Can Scotland to stand on their own, have nothing to do with Westminster, and have nothing to do with Europe? And there's still a lot of people with that attitude towards it.
But they're all there with the hand out when they want the money, aren't they?
Yeah.
Same with Wales.
Yeah.
Tony Garrett just said, base Welshman posted a video of Alex Salmon roasting wee Cranky. Yeah, she needs a good roast. I'll turn it.
Well, there's a media blackout on her sexuality, but it's well known that she prefers women to men.
Oh yeah. She's gay, yeah.
Yeah, and so is her husband.
Well. Good afternoon, Spike. Sorry, mate.
Hello, Spike. Hi, Spike. How you doing?
Click on the link if you want to drop in, Spike. No problems there, mate.
And I spoke to Spike directly for a few days. I hope he's keeping well. And him and the boss lady.
All right last night. There's been one or two saying good afternoon to you in the chat here. I've managed to get both of them on the screen again together. Yeah, Dodgy Spike says hello.
Good.
I have to keep looking down there because I don't know if anybody's in the back room. I quite often miss that.
You've only got one pair of eyes, Roger.
Yeah, neither of them work. It's actually part of my blood condition. I didn't know about it until I read up on it. But my eyes constantly water. And what that does, it throws my eyes in and out of focus all the time. I mean, I used to get over it by changing my glasses to my longer vision ones and stuff like that. But now I just deal with it and leave these on. Sometimes I can look over the top. Does it work the same when a bloke does it? Molecules. Some will know what that relates to in the chat. I'm sure they will. Let's have a look. Molecules.
No, I don't get that one. I'm
Ollie,
sorry.
Ollie does. She's put a load of laughing faces in there. Evening, Glyn. There's nobody else who's got a haircut like that, so I'll let you straight up.
Hello, Glenn. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm jolly, Bon. I'm jolly-ish.
That's good. That's
Jolly.
good.
Lost Souls.
Sorry,
No, it isn't the same.
Sorry, I've been in your chats for the last few nights, Glenn, but I've found my sleeping pattern goes off the pot when I'm on that late at night. So
That's
sometimes
all
I
right,
just sit in the background and get the crack. But it's good
Yeah,
to see you
why
again.
not? Hi, Holly.
Everything okay at your end? How's your mum keeping you well?
Yeah, it's right. Yeah, not too
That's
bad.
good.
So
She
I'm
needed
just
another
trying-
hugger sent in the road, did she?
Ah,
No, don't want that one. Oh, so I'm just pressing buttons to see what they do here.
I do. It always goes wrong. That's what I did. I start pressing buttons and everything goes totally, absolutely pizza.
Well, I've
I've
actually
pressed
got it
buttons and it
sussed
disappears
now.
the chats.
The problem I was having, Glyn, I've actually got it sussed that I can set everything up ready before I actually go into the studio, so everything's ready when I come in now.
Yeah. So I've actually worked that out now. Rather than entering the StreamYard, I've been going, I haven't muted YouTube, I haven't put the link in, I haven't done it. Oh, excuse me. I haven't done this, I haven't done that.
Oh, I'm terrible at it, mate. It's
Well, I've got my YouTube up on the telly, but there's a bit of a delay. So it's on mute because there's a delay. And then I'm speaking through my tablet thing. And that's as much technical as I can do. Any more than that, and it's woof.
Cool.
afternoon,
Oh, yeah,
Spice.
Spike. Hello, Spike.
All right. How you doing?
Yeah, that's it, lads.
All right,
You
Bob?
know, it's really nice to have
Yeah,
people on here that people can't really imitate before they come on the panel.
Who?
Well, you'll never
What?
be able to imitate my accent.
No one's
Oh,
got
yeah,
a
Jim.
news, eh?
I found this one yesterday, and this is what happens. Oh, hang on. Have I shared the right one? When Glyn walks past a house with his new saucy haircut.
Oh, don't.
I saw that one on there this morning. I had to use it.
It's fine, mate.
Honestly, I got files and files of them. The missus used to send them me all the time off Facebook before I joined myself, but now we get twice as many in the file because both of us are looking.
Oh, anyway, cheers all. It's that time.
You ain't drinking wine already.
Yeah.
You
it's
started
fine.
yesterday, Glenn, because I watched back in your chat from yesterday afternoon and I seen you cracking in. Well, I don't blame you after that 4 minutes and you get a wee visit from the old porn bomber.
Oh, yeah. I think that's a world record on YouTube. Must be 4 minutes.
I'd be
I
ashamed to
couldn't
show
believe
that thing on camera.
Literally, I went like, I thought, am I going to go live? Like yesterday afternoon, I thought, am I going to go live, am or not? Am I going to go live, am or not? And I thought, no, I'm going to go live. I'm just going to do a quick live. Probably won't be nobody about. And literally went live, 4 minutes. Bang. I was like,
I'm of the opinion that they're quite a sad individual with nothing better to do than do something like that.
yeah.
I mean,
They
if you
get a
can't come
kick
on
out
and
of
just
it.
say
I'm
something
sure they get a
sensible
kick
and have
out
a
of it.
conversation, yeah.
You know, it's not that long it's been going on. I think it's only some people have found out, oh yeah, porn bombing, gore bombing, that annoys people. You know, I've never even dreamed of doing anything like. I might drop in the old cartoon like that, but
yeah, literally 4 minutes, and I couldn't believe it. We've not even been on stream, ain't even been on 4 minutes, and I was like, I didn't even like advertise the stream. I just went straight on StreamYard, click go live, went live, and I thought probably get 2 or 3 people about, but no, straight away, whang, 4 minutes. Like,
probably you just draw the unlucky short straw because they were just waiting for somebody to go live to do it with.
Probably. Must be sitting there. Must be sitting there in front of YouTube, waiting and waiting and waiting. And it's gone, boom, someone's gone live, and they're like, oh, yeah, kid.
Yeah. Oh, we'll have some of that. Get the tissues quick.
Get the tissues. We're porn bombing.
How are you, Spike? Mate? You all right there, Spike?
Yeah, I know. I was just looking through my photographs because we've been clearing up my dad's gutters.
Hang on, let me put my glasses on. Is that one of those jet hose things here, Spike?
It's a Hoover.
A Hoover?
Yeah. We was getting.
I just brush mine out and throw it over the neighbour's fence.
I did that. Yeah. Yeah, I did that. That's what was in there. Oh, got a message. See it?
Oh,
yeah. It's surprising how much gunk they actually collect, isn't it, guys?
I tend to check mine once a year, but I'm not bad actually. There's not usually a load of gunk in mine.
Yeah, well, it was supposed to have been done last year, but my mate who does it, he'd give up doing it, you know? He's still got his Hoover and everything. And then 2 days ago, he sort of like gave me a text and said, do you fancy doing your dad's gutters on Thursday? So that's what it was arranged to do. Because otherwise, the silly old fucker would have gone up there himself and done it, you know?
Mm.
Yeah, you don't want
we are bucket and use his hands.
Yeah.
What you need is one of them.
Yeah, I do.
Cherry picker.
Yeah.
Have you got one?
I did have that thing. I got rid of that. Oh, must be 20 years ago. Because if you look at the roof of it, I've dropped that many trees on it. And it wasn't even, well, it was legal on the road, but people couldn't understand how we got away without tax and MOT. I said, well, the amount of jobs it gets driven to, we don't have to do it because we're using it for less than 20 hours a year on the road. Adrian. Thank you, Adrian. Didn't see you there, buddy.
Hi.
There he is.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, Adrian.
Hello. Hello, Glenn. Hello, Bon. Hello,
Spike.
Hello, Roger. Sorry. Said Roger at last.
Good evening, mate. Good evening. God, for fuck's sake.
Good afternoon.
It's this stuff. The missus is going to have to peel me off the ceiling when she gets home from work. Kirsty, good afternoon. Thank you for dropping in. Who else we got? Yeah, I'm not feeling too bad, Kirsty. Still a bit fuzzy, but that's just something that I've got to live with now. It drops in and out. But that last one, I think, was just a blood pressure bomb. I don't think it was a TIA, to be honest. I think it was just my blood pressure dropped that low. And I just went. And nobody heard the bang on the camera, but that was when the missus jumped up out of the chair. She heard the bang as I hit my head on the door frame when I went down.
Ooh, that's a fucking sore one.
I'm used to it, mate. I had a fractured skull for 10 years I never knew about until the doctor told me on the MRI scan.
My pulse rate used to go down to about 20 or 30. Then I had a pacemaker fitted, and it's quite normal now.
No, I don't think I doubled up on my blood meds because I usually have them counted out in front of me. I count them out and put them there the night before so I know which ones I've got to take. But for some reason, if there's a blood clot going round the body and I don't feel it, then yeah, it will get hung up somewhere and cause a bit of a drop in the blood pressure. And Apparently, that's what causes it. But I didn't bother going to the hospital because I knew it was going to be a 4-hour wait for a bloody ambulance. It would be another at least 4-hour wait at A&E. They'd have took me in, and literally all they'd have done was sat me down and monitored me, then kicked me out in the morning. So I couldn't see the point. You know, I was conscious everything was working.
I drove to hospital after I had a heart attack. I actually went and got in the shower, had a shower, then drove to
Practically
hospital.
dying, I think.
Yeah, I remember you saying, Spike.
Yeah.
No, ever since the first ones now.
2016.
Aye.
I had a quad bypass.
Did you?
Bloody hell.
Okay.
Bloody hell. You're doing all right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sort of.
I've only got the one
There's
bypass.
something going
but
on and they can't find it. I've told them that. They haven't.
Welsh lad,
they
good
don't-
afternoon.
The GP did an ECG and found what do they call it? I can't remember. Can you remember what they called it?
Murmur.
Oh, they found something on the ECG anyway, and she wants to refer me to a cardiologist, which is fine. They can do that, but she keeps on. This is last October they found this. Bear in mind, right? So she wants to send me to the cardiologist, but I've got to have my blood pressure checked again before she sends me. Now, the last time they took it properly, it was perfect, right? The next time they took it, I'd had an argument with the receptionist because she told me that I didn't have an appointment, and that was the doctor that made the fucking appointment, not me. So I had an argument with her. Then she checked my blood pressure, and that was sky high. So I explained that that's because of the receptionist, and she said, "Well, I've got to go back and have it checked." And every time they make an appointment for me to go back and have it checked, they cancel it. And I won't make an appointment myself. Fuck them. I know it's fuck me at the end of the day, but I'm not playing their games of standing in or waiting in queues on the phone for fucking I don't know how long, being fucking 30 in the queue. You know what I mean, I'm not fucking doing that. So fuck it.
No, would it have been thrombosis? Granule thrombosis.
Wasn't the murmur, was it?
Not cranial, heart thrombosis.
Who, me?
Mm.
Oh, I have no idea. No, it wasn't thrombosis. What they said, they found some. There was something not right with it, but I can't remember what the name she said. What she said.
I got loads of different ones in the letters there.
Basically, how I feel it, right? I can feel my heart skipping beats. So when I feel it, you get bum 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 bum, and it goes bum 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 bum.
An irregular, yeah. It drops on
That's
the low.
it. They found an irregularity. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What that is because you've got the two valves, and they're supposed to work, with each other. But all of a sudden, for a fraction or a few seconds, the missus gets it. They'll both work together, or one will stop all together, like.
Right.
And it's like an irregular heartbeat.
Yeah, well,
because she stops breathing in her sleep as well.
Yeah, I used to do that with sleep apnea.
So she's got to go in she's got an appointment, I think it's next week, to see the consultant. But they're on about having her in for 2 or 3 days so they can monitor 24/7, as it were, through her sleep, through the day, so they can get proper readouts on it. But she's not looking forward to that because she hates hospitals.
Yeah, me and all. I was forever doing escapes, and I had that. Well, I done a runner before they done the operation, and then after the operation, I was sort of like in there for 10 days, but I couldn't really do a lot because I was hallucinating a lot, and I was dying to get away. So they did sort of like discharge me. The doctor that was looking after me discharged me, but the 3 ward doctors wouldn't discharge me. So I was like, fuck you, I'm going. I said, my tablets are on the table, I'm going. And I rang my wife and asked her to come and pick me up and all that. Oh, journey home. Oh my God. I had to keep on saying, stop the car because it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I used to escape mainly to go outside and have a smoke, but they used to let me out the ward when the missus came round in the evenings, so she could take me out for a little walk. And they thought I was just in and out and just outside walking up and down, up in A&E. But because I worked at the hospital, I knew everybody there, so I was walking all around the grounds saying good afternoon to people, good evening. Got a right bollocking 2 hours later when I got back to the ward.
Because they give me fucking blood clots with a cannula in the past. When I had my heart attack, they give me the fucking cannula in the neck.
In the neck, yeah. I've had that. They had to go in other places because my veins and that and my arteries had collapsed so far in my arms they couldn't get any in. They actually took blood out of my groin when they wanted to test it.
Fuck that.
Because he said, well, I've got to go into a nasty place with the needle. I said, well, you can stick it in there, mate. There's nothing but a great big rubber tube full of blood there that runs from my heart down to my legs, so fill your boots. If you're going to take that much, pull a bit out and put a tap on the end of it, like, you know. All right, Dan, no worries, mate. I know you had the interview today. I hope it went well. Sort of. Oh, you got a copy of the recording. Brilliant. Yes, to answer you, Welsh lad, this is a Nathan free channel. I won't allow him on it, and that's all I'm going to say about it.
Okay, no problem.
Like I said to you, Glenn, and I said to Dan yesterday as well, you know, you guys run your own channel. I will not interfere how you run your own channel, but I just, as Dan said, he hasn't done anything wrong over there yet, but it'll come. But I just don't want him in here.
That's fine.
So, well, it just saves the hassle, mate. It just saves the hassle. He'll pick up on it somewhere and he'll have something to say about it on some other channel somewhere. But as I always say, people talk behind my back. There's a reason they're behind me. You know?
I think he just needs to chill out a wee bit. I was a bit like that myself when I was his age, kind of a bit of an angry young man, and I think he just needs to chill out and learn to chill and relax and not take life too seriously, so to speak.
Sorry, Felix. It was just someone, I can't remember who it was. Someone had asked if he was coming on today, and I was just saying it is no, he won't be on this channel at all at any time.
I think because we're all over 50, we've all mellowed in our old age, because I know I have.
Yeah, I've heard it too many times, Bon. You know, working as a doorman for 30 years, you take a lot of shit and you just learn to let it go over your head and don't let it bother you. You know, but if someone says something I don't like, 9 times out of 10, I just ignore it. But he just kept on, so I went back. That was it. End of. But I've dropped it. He can't. That's his problem, not mine. It's a shame because when he first came on, he was a nice lad on it. He was done right, you know. But I think he has been led astray a bit by none of our channels, but some of the other ones he goes on, I wouldn't even go near them. You know, the channels were just set up for an argument, and that's all they do on them. So I tend not to get involved with them.
I only go on Glenn's and you lot. Do you know what I mean?
That's all. I will drop in on other people's. Like I say, I've got some American friends, some Canadian friends, and one that I regularly drop in Australia. But that's about. I used to watch all the auditors, but once they, you know, they're sorting themselves out a bit now. But once they all started fighting amongst each other, backbiting, slagging each other off, reporting each other, I don't want any part of that. You know,
there's too much drama around, as it is.
You don't need it. You don't need the drama.
What
Yeah,
I
I-
don't
I-
understand is would they behave like that if they met you in a pub? Because if they come that attitude and meet you in a pub, 9 times out of 10 you'd stick with heeding them, or
Yeah.
whatever your preferred method was. I mean, because it's live and let live, try and chill out. It's not. We're not in a pub. We're in a pub situation, so to speak, because we're all in here speaking like you would do with boys in the pub. You can be having a drink, you can be having a cup of tea, but we're all sitting here and it's like in a pub. If you misbehave, you're out in your ear. Whereas in here, they can have that comfort of knowing that they can't get thrown out, so to speak. They can
Yeah,
say
'cause there's
their
the
piece
big
and wind up
distance.
people. Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're not, and then they can get as lippy as they like because they know find that. Well, you're not going to be able to come round and chin me.
Mm.
Well, I know a few people over in United Kingdom. I can make a couple of phone calls if I find out your address. We'll soon see how chipper you are. I mean, it won't be me booting your balls, but it'll be somebody representing me.
So I
to
used
speak.
to take the easy option. It was
Chicken
usually a
stir
bar
fries,
stool around
mate.
the back of the head started mine off.
Yeah, chicken stir
Unbelievable.
fries tonight, Holly. Quick and simple.
Felix was on about he's having sweet and sour squirrel with deep fried Yeti.
Nice.
Well, I'm going to push
Might
it
be a
forward. I'm
bit
going to push
chewy
it
by now.
They contain nuts.
Yeah, full of nuts in here, man.
There's a few nuts in here, aye.
Who else we got in here? Quiet life is all we need, guys. Yeah, exactly. And at my age, I was looking forward to a quiet life.
Well, when it comes to stuff like that, for me, it's a case I've been there, done that, and I'm not going back down that road again.
Yeah, I think I'm there long enough to earn the T-shirt now.
Oh, yeah.
I'd rather just come into places like this where you can have a conversation, you can speak to people that, and I would never ever meet you people before because apart from the fact where I stay, but if I did meet you and I'd like to enjoy your company over a beer or a cup of tea and can just shoot the breeze, so to speak. And that's what it's like in here. You're just meeting people you've never met before. You can have a bit of crack, can slag off whatever political parties peeved you off, and that's it. And speak your opinion.
Yeah.
It's
It's just a bit of fun, a bit of crack,
who's
and at the end of the day, you still need to show a bit of respect to the people you're conversing with because it's
yeah.
It takes me a lot of energy to be annoyed. Again, and I'm that age now. I really can't be bothered. I like to float through life and chill.
When we went up to Liverpool for Pap's birthday last year, I question, there ain't many in these channels that get together and meet each other in person. No, I've always got on with Pap and I've always got on with the guys that were going. We didn't know who else was coming. As it happened, a lot of them that said they were coming didn't turn up. But those that made the effort, we were great. It was absolutely brilliant. Meeting up face to face, being able to shake hands with people, or in Ollie's case, picking her up and giving her a nice big cuddle. And that was the missus. But no, it was a real nice day. And we made a day of it. We weren't meeting until I think it was about 5:30 in the evening at the pub. But me and the missus went up in the afternoon because I'd never been into Liverpool City, only round the outsides to the port. So, we can't walk very fast. I can't walk. I have to keep having breaks. She has to have breaks with her artificial hip. But we took the afternoon, had a walk round, went down to the docks and just see a little bit of the area, And I don't know why people slate the place. Everybody we met, well, there were some strange ones walking around in the evening, but everybody we met was friendly, nice,
If you can understand what they're saying, mind you.
I could. Up until about 10 o'clock after the beer set in with a few of them with the local accents.
Very heavy going and hard to understand. But then again, if you lads come up to where I am, in the northeast of Scotland, if you speak to if you wouldn't understand the locals in the pub because we would just drift into our local dialect and you wouldn't have a clue. You'd pick up the odd word or maybe the odd swear word, but the rest of it you wouldn't understand. Because of these aye men fit like a fools, your doos, lone men. and
I used to get
wounds
the
and
same
ties and
because my mother's Irish, so I've got an Irish side to the family as well, and we quite often used to go over there on holidays, right over on the west coast in Sligo, and I could understand them all out there. But as soon as we crossed over the border into the north, because obviously that's where the cheap shopping was, it's only like 50 mile up the road, you couldn't understand one person because they just talk too quick. I mean, Paul from what was it? The Northern Ireland police, PSNSI abusing powers. He's up in Northern Ireland there, and he puts videos up, and he does come on the lives because he knows Pap and that. And I have to try and dissect what he's saying because he talks so quick, and it's usually through a beer.
even worse.
But he's a lovely guy. He's worth, yes, Jeff, Paul McCrory, that's right. He's a not real nice guy, And but some people say, "Oh, what do you say? What do you say?" Yes. But you learn. I've went over to Ireland that many times that I learned to pick up certain words and lines, so I knew what they were saying. Unless they talk Gaelic, of course.
Nah. It's the same. I went down to Glasgow with a couple of my mates, and they couldn't understand some of the boys doing there with a broad Glasgow accent. I'm standing there, how do you understand all that? I said, fuck me, I was born in Glasgow. I might have been 8 when I moved, but I still understand it can fit they're speaking about.
Yeah, you think most people's perception of the Scottish accent was Russ Abbott, wasn't it? Yeah, I'll fucking see you. Fucking you wanted to hit you.
And we don't all wear kilts. We only wear them on a special occasion. But a real Scotsman doesn't wear drawers under their kilt.
Now what you do is cut a hole in the back and put everything in the inside. That's just foreign, isn't it? Oh my lord!
It's just your spawn in the front. That's where you keep your money, for your drams.
Yeah, I remember it with.
If you're ever up here and they advertise a Keeley night, go. It's just drinking, and you don't even have to be able to dance. Just dance. You drink heaps, you sweat it out you, and you dance like an idiot, and you have a cracking night. You don't have to understand. You don't have to be able to dance. Just dance. Doesn't make a difference if you can fit there. Just have a good time. But if you've never been to Keighley and you go in Scotland for your holidays and they say Keighley tonight, go in and it'll be a good Scottish night and just get in the swing out and have heaps of drums and you'll probably have one of the best nights of your life. And it's Scottish music, not my cup of tea, but a good night. It's like Keighley.
Yes, Welsh lad, I am live tonight, 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I probably won't be out to play tonight, Glyn. I want to get a few early nights in before Sunday night, if I'm honest. Well, I'm just trying to find this bloody clip. I moved it around into a different file this morning, and now I can't frigging find. There it is. You'll like you'll like this, Bon, if I can get it to work. Come on. Okay, so there it is up there. Right. Okay. Right, let's wind that back. This is only a couple of seconds, and I've got to see if I can share it properly. Share screen, window. Why is it showing it black? Well, let's click on it anyway. Right, I don't know whether this is going to work because I can't see the frigging start button because there's something in the way. Hide, stop sharing. Can I move that? So I've got the screen on share, but the stop share thing is actually right at the frigging bottom of the picture, and it's covering up the stop, start, and pause. How can I do this?
Do it again.
Oh, hang on. Nearly.
All right,
nearly.
Let's minimize it. I can see it then.
That's it. Press. That's it.
But I don't know whether you can see the picture.
Oh,
No.
Oh,
No,
hang
No,
on.
I've got no
Hang
picture.
on. I
Hang
can
on.
do it this
Hang
way.
on,
I'll
he says,
go back to there. Then make it full screen. But it's not showing the video.
no, the video's not playing. We've got the music, we've got the sound, we've got no video.
Oh well, that's me prattling around in the sitting room here with a Boran.
Well, what?
Are you
Or
Bodran, depending on how people pronounce it. In Ireland, it's called the Bodran. Over here, they call it the Boran. It's just the hand drum.
oh,
Oh, yeah. I got you. Yeah,
Learned to play it years ago.
yeah. I used to love years ago when we used to go to the pagan festivals at night. As the sun was set, you'd get the pipe up with the bagpipes, and you'd pipe the sun down. You stand on top of the ancient burial mound, and you'd pipe the sun down. And as soon as the sun set, then the drummers used to start with all the drumming and the flame swingers and everything. Oh, it's brilliant.
Live,
Love it.
you said,
AMG. Sorry, mate. I have got to make some more mods in here. That bit's coming.
Sorry, Bob.
We used to, in Stonehaven in New Year, the fireball display going down the house.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Stonehaven.
They have the fire sticks and the
Yeah.
fireballs and that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they're
do one
like
up in Orkney,
fireballs,
something
and they
not-
stuffed with.
Up in Orkney as well. They do the old fireball.
Well, we
Yeah,
used
no,
to have
it's
the big
brilliant,
festival
nice.
down in
Some weird
Cornwall.
traditions that Scots have, we're a weird bunch, really.
The biggest one down where I used to be the Obios Festival in Padstow. And everybody used to go there to celebrate it, not realising that it's actually a pagan festival.
yeah. It's like when the schools the kids do the maypole dancing, and the teachers say, "Oh yeah, we do that this time of year." It's actually a pagan festival. It's a fertility dance for the earth.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's a fertility dance for the earth. So the crops would grow. They would give praise to the earth to get the crops to grow. And people just don't realise it. They say, "Oh, the kids were all doing a maypole dance yesterday." Really? Do you know what it's all about? Well, no. It's like,
Remember a few years ago, folk complained about the Morris dancers, the ones that blackened their faces.
yeah.
They thought that was racist. It wasn't. And the reason it wasn't racist was because the people weren't allowed to be begging, and they blackened their face to hide who they were. And that was part of the tradition, was to hide their face. It was nothing to do with this black face or whatever it was that was annoyed them. It was part of the tradition.
The one that started it was the one that said he got told something, so he decided he was going to dance from London to York, I think it was. And his name was Morris, and that's why they call it Morris dancing.
Morris dancing, yeah. That's pagan as well. You see the Morris dancers.
I can't remember 10 bloody minutes ago, but I can remember that from history at school.
Yeah, Morris dancing. That's pagan. That's pagan.
Yeah.
That's pagan.
It's it was something to do with the Parliament back at the time, and he wanted to protest about something. So he decided he was going to dance from London to, I think it was York, and he was just waving 2 bits of rag as he went, and he waved all the way.
Mm.
I
used to love it on the night when the drummers used to start, and the old drums used to start drumming, and like I say, the fire dancers would come out, and the fire swingers would come out. And, it's fantastic.
Yeah, they do the other one where they carry the burning tar barrels as well, don't they?
Yeah.
The ones I like might not be deemed appropriate these days is the marches for the Orange Lodge to celebrate the 12th of July. The bands are brilliant. I like the music, I like the bands. But a lot of folk think, you shouldn't be doing that. That's sectarian and everything. Well, but I like the bands, and you get some terrific ones to see. But you don't get it in Aberdeen. You've got to go south. You might get one in Dundee, but you get them down in Glasgow and everything, and you get them over in Ireland as well. But you get them up on YouTube, and I enjoy that. And a lot of folk, no, I like that.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen this happening in the chat, but apparently AMG's had some comments go missing. None of the moderators have touched them, so I presume we've got YouTube bots in here.
Yeah, I've had that with mine the other night. People say my comments are not coming up, and I was like, "Hang on." So I checked. I checked on the list, and there's nothing barring them. So I reckon
they do
I
occasionally.
reckon I had YouTube bots in there.
We had them on Dan's one night, and it was when they first started, and people didn't realise that they were actually watching the live streams live, as it were.
Mm.
And there was loads of them went missing one night. I just went in and said, well, it was announced the other day that they're being monitored, Plus, we got these WF wankers in now as well. They're actually paying. This is the World Economic Forum of paying over 10,000 people to come on YouTube and other platforms and just disrupt it and keep reporting channels and stuff like that. That's on top of YouTube and Google.
Oh, man has just said it was happening in mine last night. I didn't realise it was happening in mine last night.
I didn't see any.
That's Glenn.
And I was watching the chat last night on yours, having a spanner. Sometimes I do just sit in the background. Yeah, Tony's 77th. They've expanded their operation greatly in the last couple of years. They used to be just for the military and MI6, but now they're getting involved in everything that's on social media as well.
Freedom of speech. We don't fucking have it, do we?
It's afternoon, Richard. It's all going to change again if they get this online safety bill through in the way it is. The Lords have asked for some more changes in it. At the last reading, the House passed it, but the Lords have sent it back for some more amendments, and then it will get another reading. That's some of the things I do follow. If I hear there's a reading going on that day, I'll be on the live Parliament channel listening.
If they're so keen to do that, why can they not stop this paedophilia stuff on the internet?
This is what I've said all along. They seem to be able to pick up somebody for saying a dirty word. Yet you get someone on there grooming a kid and they do nothing,
Well, that's it. That's the weird. We have a channel on our channels on YouTube, and the discussions sometimes do get a bit heated, and the swear words do go in, and we get penalised for it. Yeah. But if you want to go and groom children or download illicit images of minors, I'll say the word minors. You can quite easily find that on the internet. So why aren't they clamping down and shutting these sites down?
Yeah,
where people can get that stuff, as we've seen many videos of Dan's, us innocent lot just doing a bit on YouTube, or getting penalised, strikes, warnings and stuff like that. I mean, it was like the other night, we was having a bit of a karaoke sort of singing song, weren't we? And somebody, I don't know who played it, but they played Hot Chocolate song, 14 seconds. That's all the clip lasted for. And the following day, I got a YouTube warning of copyright.
Yeah, I used to get loads of them.
14 seconds.
Ignore them. It tells you in there that there's no strike or no penalty.
Yeah, there's no strike. They said it's not a strike, but someone's put a complaint in again about copyright. 14 seconds.
What it is, the bots automatically pick up the fact that you've played music on there, and that warning comes up automatically.
Yeah.
And it's been tested out. People have played their own instruments, played obscure tunes, and literally as soon as it goes up, they get a warning, oh, there's a copyright claim. And one of them even emailed YouTube back and said, well, if there's a copyright claim, then it's mine because I wrote that music last night. It just showed them up for how stupid they can be.
But it just goes to show you Big Brother is watching and monitoring.
Watching. Oh, Badge.
They keep saying, like WhatsApp's getting monitored, then Facebook. They monitor it all. It's not a new thing. Even when we had CB radios back in the day, the illegal ones, the 27 megahertz on AM, we knew that was monitored. And the FM channels and that are monitored now as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's a guy I follow on YouTube. He's does like ham radio and stuff like that. What's he? Manchester.
Manchester Radio. Yeah.
Something.
He
Yeah. I
used
think
to
it's
run
Manchester
an
Radio,
elite
something like that.
music station, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And watch some of his videos. It's all being monitored, even on ham frequencies. If you transmit on a ham frequency without a license, ham license,
Yep.
boom, they're on you.
Well,
And they can
that's what
track
happened
you.
with me. I used to have a 2-meter rig, and I used to go on there. Then all of a sudden, it's like, no, you're not a registered operator because you have to give a number. You know,
Yeah.
your call sign. There's a register for it, and if your name's not on the register, you get blanked. Nobody speaks to you. Good afternoon, James. That's one of my old mates from down in Cornwall that's gone down there now.
Afternoon, James.
How you doing, buddy? Ham radio's being monitored 24/7. Yeah, Welsh lad, it is. And the worst ones are these.
Oh yeah.
That's why I have a smartphone.
Mine's not very smart because I turned the internet off on it. But I have got the other one, which Wi-Fi does stay on. But that's just dedicated for the channel. Yeah, we're just having a general afternoon chat, Richard. That's all, mate. Nice and easy. No dramas. Hello, what's Felix got to say? That's the only time I notice the chat really is when my name comes up highlighted.
Oh,
Yes,
terrible.
we do, mate.
I'm terrible. That's the thing when I'm live, I'm terrible for keeping up the side chat.
But
Like
this is
the
what
other night, someone's
trying to arrange my screen so I can see everything on one screen that's in front of me, which is the big one.
yeah, I'm terrible for it. It's like the other night, a couple of nights back, someone says, "Why haven't you answered my comment?" And I'm like, I'd called it in the corner of my eye in side chat. They weren't being rude. They just said, "You haven't answered my comment," and I was like, I didn't see it. And then when I looked at the length of the side chat, I was like, "Oh God, I'm not going back all through that."
Would you believe that was my phone just went off to tell me that I'm live?
Oh, mine does that. I mean, I go live, and then about an hour and a half later, the phone goes ping. I think, who's that? And it says, "You're now live on YouTube." Never. Never.
Welsh lad,
Really?
there is an easier one rather than going for the full ham one. The best person to ask about that, because she's actually on 2 and 4 meters, I think, is Tina Chow when she comes on Paps on Sunday. She's quite a big operator on the airways on that.
Oh, it's that site I go off Ringway. I think it's called Ringway Manchester.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, Ringway Manchester. Really informative about a lot of stuff, especially to deal with UHF and ham.
Yeah, he goes up into the woods and the hills and finds all the hidden transmitters and that, doesn't he?
That's right. Yeah. And he scans all the frequencies that you really wouldn't know were out there, but he obviously he's a mind and knowledge.
That's right, James. You used to carry a radio around with you, didn't you? I remember that.
I've got one down the caravan. I've got a dual band, a Baofeng. Is that the make Baofeng? Just like walkie-talkie.
Yeah,
Baofeng walkie-talkie, and obviously that transmits on. I can't remember the frequency.
Put a code. You know all the numbers and the buttons on the front.
Yeah,
there are videos out there of different codes that you can put in that, and it will change the frequency of them Baofengs, them little ones.
Oh right, yeah, I've got one down the caravan. I haven't got it with me, but I used to just like hit it to. I can't remember what it works on. I can't remember what frequency. It must be AM or then change to UHF.
I think it's an FM one. It's one that's been allocated for like personal communications like that, because there was a big a lot of security companies were using them because they wouldn't buy the expensive proper radios.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
we
behind
can't
the
talk on this channel because we're working. Well, no, sorry, mate. They're public airways. You want to talk privately, you piss off someone.
Well, that's it. Yeah, that is public airways. If you want to talk privately, go and pay the money and get the digital
was it?
ones.
Marty
I can't remember what frequency it was, but I used to be able to click it to scan, and obviously it scans the 6-digit number like 432.168, and it scans up and down the front. And I used to pick up like ham operators.
Yeah.
And then I've also
you
got
can
a
listen to shipping. The guys down in
Yeah.
Dover, they listen to the shipping. They can legally go on the frequencies, but they're not allowed to transmit on them.
Yeah. Richard, I'm doing a
anybody can
live
listen
tonight,
in.
8:00. Yeah, I've also got an airband scanner as well, which is only a receiver, and obviously I use that list because where I live over the flight path going into Gatwick, Heathrow, and London City. Some afternoons it's
Listen to the
nice.
pilots in the
I just
tower.
sit there with a glass of vino with the scanner on, an automatic pickup. You can listen to the pilots talking to ATC and ATC talking back to the pilots and that. But then you can switch that. You can scan the CB channels on it. You can scan the ham channels on it, and you can scan marine. And obviously, I've got Sheerness docks from when I'm on the island. I'm not too far from Sheerness docks, so I stick it on, and I found the channel number for like Sheerness docks, and I can put it on that. And you can hear the pilots and the captains speaking to as the ships are coming in and out.
Just go on Marine Band, and I think it's channel.
Change it to marine. Yeah, I'll change it to marine band.
Yeah,
and then
channel
I can
16.
16, that's it. You guys, I couldn't forget the number. But
Yeah.
guess what? I've got to bring that with me as well. That's still down the bloody caravan. I can't get in there till March.
Well, this is what we were doing when the docks were being monitored. There was 2 crews down there filming. And when they were doing live, I'd be monitoring the radar live on air. So I've got real-time radar with identification, even pictures of what boats are in the channel. They'd have the marine scanner going down there as well. And they'd say something like, oh, we've just heard the French boat or something has been sighted. And I'll go on that, yeah, okay, right, that's Fermentane. That's one of the French vessels. It's meeting up with Hunter. That it looks like they'll be together in about 4 minutes. And I was getting that live. From a channel down by you, actually, Glyn. Oh, God, what was it? Fifth Continent, it was called. It's all about the Kent coast.
Yeah.
Down that way, but they've got a section on there where they've got the live shipping map.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
And it
I've
refreshes.
got flight radar. So what I used to do, I've got flight radar on my phone, which shows you all the commercial flights. And
who's got 3 legs, AMG?
it's 4 o'clock. I'm going to put
talking about food.
I don't
know what third leg he's eating.
Remember years ago, you could listen to the police frequency in an FM radio?
Yeah. You could even use it with the radio off if they were close enough, because the RF signal used to be picked up and bypassed and used to activate the circuits in your radio.
I remember when I was still at school, you could listen to them and if it was a nice clear night, you could tune them in and you would hear them.
Oh, I used to get crucified by the locals in our village back home because I used to have 30-foot dipole out the back. I'd be pushing 500 watts listening to America. And the mothers used to come and take all the plugs off the local kids' radios so they couldn't hear me. And of course, 500 watts going out. It didn't matter whether it was plugged in or not. They could hear it through the speakers. So I used to get knocks on the door the next day. You know, do you mind not doing that at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning because it's waking all my kids up? Yeah, the good old days, real good old days. Convoys. Oh dear. Oh, Danny. Good afternoon, mate. Excuse me while I say good day to some people in the chat. I wasn't watching again. So we got Danny's come in. James. I take it you can see the chat, Spike. Oh, here we go. The love struggle.
mute.
Okay, sit back, watch it happen.
You're on
Oh,
mute,
long distance love. Oh, I used to say the bigger the distance, the better with me, but there you go. Spike's on mute. No, he's not.
Right,
Oh, he is.
come on,
You're
mute.
muted, Spike.
Yes, he
Sorry.
is.
Fuck me,
There
I
we
forgot
go.
all about it.
And I couldn't see the little microphone symbol down there.
I've been talking as well.
Right.
That's
I
what I
was
said.
about-
You've just been
I was
asked a question in there.
I was back. I can put the TV on so she can watch Tipping Point.
Here's my wife now.
It's never ending. I just sit down.
Today,
I chill out for half an hour, and I look at the time. And I'm thinking, oh no, I ain't be down to put the bloody telly on. Because if you can't watch bloody Tipping Point and The Chase, it'd be. Oh.
Well, that's why it's easier for me to set a time limit on when I'm on, because I know she'll be home. What's the time now? Another hour and a half, see, and she'll be home. So that's what I like in the afternoon. It's
Mr. Austin, good afternoon.
You know, as soon as I hear the car pull up, it's like, that's it. Boom. Bye, guys.
Better make on I've been doing something and they on here chatting all day.
Well, this is going to be an issue for the next 2 weeks, because from today, she's working at home tomorrow, then she's working at home for 2 weeks solid because they're refurbing her offices. So,
Well, no peace for you then, Roger.
no, up and down the stairs every half hour.
You'll
with a
be,
cup
you'll,
of
be,
coffee.
you'll be the tea waller for 2 weeks.
Yep.
Have a little bell upstairs. Ding, 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 ding.
My
You'll be like, oh, fuck's sake.
Funny as hell,
No.
that, isn't it?
Fuck's sake. You take
The
a cup of
baby
tea up,
bell.
and then she go, where's the biscuits? You'd be like, oh, fucking hell. He'd be down the stairs, put the biscuits on the saucer, bring it up. No, I don't want them ones. I wanted the chocolate ones. He'd be like, fucking hell. Down the stairs, change the biscuits, back up the stairs. Is that all right? You happy now? Really?
What she's actually got is a doorbell press up there, a cordless one, and I've got the receiver down here plugged in. And when she wants something, she presses the bell, and the doorbell plays the William Tell overture. And that's the sign I want coffee or toast or something. But no, it's like I said,
You'll just sit down in front of your laptop and think, I can chill out now. Next thing it'll be ding, 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 ding. You're like, oh,
oh yeah, she wants a bloody cup of
God,
coffee again.
fucking hell, woman. What now? Give me 5 minutes to myself.
But I've always said, because she's the one that's working at the moment, then I take over whatever needs doing around the house, basically.
My opinion
Oh,
was work is little and often. If I duster on a sleep, that's a great thing. The Hoover comes out most days, and once a week you get on a good clean. Little and often.
Well, when I'm here on my own, I don't make too much mess. So I go around with the Hoover maybe once a week. Usually on a Saturday before the family arrive on the Sunday.
Yeah, you only got to do it once a week, haven't you?
But they are on limited time on a Sunday because I have them all out before 8 o'clock for Pat Live.
Off does that. Off does that.
Thank you,
Sorry.
Felix. That should actually bring me up to the magic number of 370 subs.
Excellent.
Until YouTube decide they're going to have none of it.
Yeah.
Again.
Any subs are you up to do, Glenn?
So, I mean, I'm up. So hang on.
many subs have you got now, Glenn?
I am up to, where are we? So have a look. Hang on. Your channel. 405.
Nice.
But it does change that on a daily basis. It goes up and it goes down, like Roger was saying. I think YouTube do step. I think it depending on whatever, but yeah, it does go up and down.
Yeah, and the viewing figures as well. And the only thing that really pisses me off is they stopped putting the figures up on the screen of the thumbs down button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They only show the thumbs up figures unless you go into your analytics and manage videos.
Yeah,
obviously.
well, I've just looked at my YouTube channel, and this morning my stream last night said I had 1K viewers on the stream last night, and I've just looked at it now, and it's now down to 840.
Yeah. And if you get that many drop out like that, you can guarantee it's either something that's gone on the channel or YouTube have removed them.
Danny, I'm having a good day. Ish.
They'll leave people stuck, but they won't give them alerts, and they can't get into the channel. And it's literally it's harassment, but you can't prove it's them, so they get away with it.
But this morning it said we've got 1K viewers on last night's stream. I was like, brilliant, you know, that's going up. So I'm getting sort of 700, 800 a night. And it was like 1K. I thought, brilliant. And I've just looked at it there, and it's now saying I've got 840.
Well, it's like mine goes up and down. I think it depends on the videos that I do, because I'm not for everybody. I know that. I never set out to do that. I was going to do it my way, and if people want to watch, they can watch that, you know. But I think I usually get around, some will creep up towards the 100 after they've been viewed. I usually get around 50 to 80. And on the odd occasion, like the fishing video from the year before last, that got 1,000 views. But if 5 people watch and they listen to what I say, that makes me happy in my videos.
Well, see, I mean, 840 views. I mean, I can't be more happy than that. You know, like, I mean, I just do a live stream from 8 o'clock in the evening till sort of probably about 1 in the morning. So about 5 hours, and then in that 5 hours, I've had like 840 plus people view the stream. You know, that's amazing.
Well,
come on.
If I got 8, I'd be happy. You know, but 840.
I mean, you had a brilliant boost when you first started your channel, when Rev bombed it. Bombed. That gave you a good boost to start with. I never had that. Yeah. See, I've been going over 2.5 years now, and that's as high as I've got.
I always remember that night, because it's the week before Rev said, you're going to set yourself a channel up this week, get your channel set up, and then Saturday night we get your support. And I was like,
we all came on, and you nearly passed out when you're watching all the sub figures going up.
I don't know about this. You know, it was that night I went on Revs and done the phone. I always do it before I was running my channel on the Saturday night. Obviously, I'd go on Revs, and I was on the phone then, and he said, "Right, you got this channel set up?" I went, "Yeah." "What's your link?"
Yeah,
and I was like, "I don't know." Then Base said, "It's your username, and it'd be some digits." So I'll give him that. And he said, "Paste that in the chat," which I did. He said, "Right, we're all coming over to yours." So I logged into mine. And I was just sitting there, and all of a sudden it was just like swamped. The panel was full, the side chat was full.
Well, that's how I found you, through the Rev on that one that night.
I was just sitting going, I was like, hang on, I can't handle it. This is people commenting in the side chat, and hello Glenn, glad to find your channel, your new channel goes well, and all this. And I was just sitting there thinking, like, what do I do here? Help!
I mean, the Rev's got that sort of personality, you know. I mean, every time I've been on a live with him, whether it be on here, whether it would be Pat, I've always had a right laugh with him. He's an absolute mint of a guy. He is.
Your Rev come on board last night.
Yeah, I was having a crack with him. He cracked up when I showed him that
Rev, I saw him in the back chat. Backstage. He was pissed as a fart, wasn't he, last night?
Yeah, Welshie weren't far off that level either.
Yeah, Bass was there as well. So we had Bass on and Rev on. Then we had them both on together. And then
Bass, he very rarely has his eyes open. I think it's only when he's driving.
I thought, yeah, I've had a couple of glasses of vino tonight, but Rev, he was trolling glass.
He was brilliant, mate. He was absolutely.
It was so funny. And like the bloody the views just went up like through the roof.
Well, as soon as Rev goes live anywhere, some of his guys follow soon.
They follow, yeah. That's what they did. They followed over to mine, and I got a few more subscribers and that. But yeah,
I mean,
he was well trolleyed last night.
Oh, he's just in the state of him on some of his pub streams when he used to have Free State and what. Oh, it was hilarious. I used to sit here and crack up. My jaw used to ache by the end of the stream. He used to have me in bloody stitches.
Oh, what was that? What was that night, Rog? We was all on mine. It was last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, the late one. Yeah,
no, not this week. Just gone. It was the week before Rev popped on, didn't he? And he started on his banter, didn't he? Remember, we was all sitting there. I had to take my glasses off because I was crying that hard. Then he put that bloody. That's when Crinkle tried bombing us, and he put the Our Tune music on, and then started talking to Crinkle. Honestly, I was laughing that hard.
The first time he done that, I actually was on the floor in tears. The first time he ever done that,
I had tears dripping off my chin, my glasses. I couldn't see through my glasses where my tears are landing. I was laughing. My cheeks were hurting. That was so funny that night.
I'll tell you what, I reckon the Rev could carry off a stage show. I
Easy.
really do. He's got that sort of personality.
Yeah, he's like one. He could just walk on stage, can he? Pick him up, walk on stage, pick a mic up, and boom, and have a crowd entertained easy.
And just abuse everybody.
Yeah. Oh, but that night when he started playing that Our Tune music and stuff like that, and he was giving it.
Well, you've seen how it goes when me, him, and Pat get together.
I was crying here. Honestly, I couldn't even see what was going on. I was crying that hard with laughter. I couldn't see what was going on in the bloody side chat. So God knows what I'm listening.
Half of it with the Rev is to do with his expressions as well when he looks at the camera. You know, it's.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't say that on any of the platforms, AMG, unfortunately. They can themselves, but we can't.
I was absolutely. I was laughing that hard. Honestly, I was crying, literally crying with laughter. And I ain't done that for a long. I haven't done that for a long time.
When the missus is here, sometimes I'll hear her go out into the kitchen, and I'll hear her out there. She'll be laughing her tits off. She said, but I don't want to do it in here in front of everybody. She said it was just what Rev said. You know, she'll go out there and crack up. He's a brilliant guy, Simon is. Absolutely brilliant bloke. And he'll help anybody out.
It's like, I think it was that night, the stream was quite quiet. But there wasn't a lot happening. People were chatting, and we was all sort of like lost for words, really. It was all just like, yeah. Then Rev popped up backstage, and I thought, let Rev up. And then, like, within 10 minutes, we was all sitting there, like, with tears running down our face and this and that. I'll never forget that night.
Roger, I'm going to have to drop down now for a minute. I'll catch you some other time. Okay.
Adrian,
okay.
Okay,
might see you tonight, Clint. Okay.
Yeah, I'm here for late.
Okay, I'll just go and feed the animals and things. Okay, bye.
I'll do that.
Bye-bye.
Take it easy, Adrian. I like Adrian.
Livestock to feed.
Adrian's a lovely man. He's a really lovely man, Adrian.
He's a man of the land like me. I relate to people like that. You know, people moan about farmers and this sort and that and the other. But I'll tell you what, we'd be wasted. We'd be useless without them. We'd be buggered.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Hang on, I've just had a message from Rev. Did someone try doxing him last night?
What, Adrian?
No, Rev.
Oh.
What's doxing?
Well, that's the only thing with Rev. You never know what he's going to come out with when he's been drinking.
Yeah, no. He's just sent me. He's just sent me a message. He said, "Did someone try doxing me last night?"
I don't think anybody did while I was on.
Mm,
What's doxing, by the way?
Giving
don't
out
know.
your details,
Oh,
your personal details, address, phone numbers. And even the police
I
aren't
managed
allowed
to
to
give-
do it if they're being filmed.
I managed to give mine to Spike when I was in one of Budge's streams, but there wasn't a lot of folk on, and I got Spike to write it down real quick.
I don't think anybody. I don't think anybody. No one did. Now I'm thinking back to last night's stream.
Lost Souls just said there was someone in the chat that Dafter brought attention to. He was giving out some quite personal stuff, and she blocked him. Good
All
work.
right.
Number
Thank
one.
you, Lost Souls.
Mod.
Holly, you are a fantastic mod. Thank you so
I'll
much.
tell you what, she does things on Pap channel. I'll see something come up, a message deleted. I never even see the message. She's on it before I even get to bloody see it. She is.
Yeah, but I don't recall anybody giving out personal details on the stream last night.
I mean, the only details I give out are the ones that are in the description below my videos, which
Hang on.
is my WhatsApp
Hang on,
number
I'm to mute myself. I've got a phone call.
and an email address on there, none of which are my personal ones. They are just used simply for the channel. There are one or two that have got my personal address, and they are personal friends that if they ever needed to, that they know where to come, like, you know.
Well, Glenn's got my email, my mobile number. Spike's got my email, my mobile number, and so is Budge. But they're not people that's going to abuse having that information.
Yeah. Well, that's the
And I've
reason
got
I
yours
set
as
up
well.
2 email accounts. I've got my personal one, and then I've got my Rogers Rants, which is dedicated to the channel, basically.
Yeah.
And if I get anything from people outside the channel on that number, then I know they're scammers because I don't give that number out. You know, if they're picking it random, fine, but nobody gets my numbers. My personal number. Dan's got it. I don't know whether Holly's got it or not. The missus might have given it to her because I said if she wanted it, she could have it. And I've got 2 of my subs. One hasn't got a phone at the moment. He's broke it, and he uses that to get online, so he hasn't been on for a while. But they're the only ones that have got my personal contact number.
Well, my email address doesn't have Bon Scott in it at all. It references a Disney character in my trade.
Yes, Holly, I will post it in personal messages on Facebook for you. She just said the missus didn't give it to us, so I know I'm muted at this time. Okay, Spike. Someone said earlier on with him sat in the shadows there, if he turned sideways, it looked like he's on a coin. Just see the profile, you know. What did you say, Spike? Yeah, it's you've got to be careful online. I mean, this is one of the reasons I didn't come online until very late in life, is because I didn't like the security that was around it, you know.
Well, I don't do internet banking or anything like that. I don't trust computers and I don't trust banks. So my personal details, if anybody wants money out, I physically have to basically give it to them one way, over the with my card, or write you a check. I still do checks.
Yeah. Well, I've got internet banking, and the only thing I do on there is check balances if I'm expecting money coming in or going out. Anything else, I walk into the local bank. I do not
pay my phone bill. I pay the BT phone bill and my electricity bill with a check. My Travis Perkins, I just go in there and I swipe my card to Travis Perkins, and my paint account with Crown is an account, and they just take the money out of your bank at the end of the 30 days.
But
So
this is another problem I come up with, because usually they want 2 or 3 forms of ID. Now, we live in a council house, but Heather had it for over 20 years before we even met. So all the bills and everything are in her name.
Mhm.
And we never changed it. So any financial dealings she has, she's got plenty of proof of ID, where I've got my driver's license. My passport's about 10 years out of date. I don't get any utility bills or anything. So I usually end up showing my driving license and my original birth certificate.
Well, I don't have a photo license. I've got the old-fashioned paper one, because I've stayed in this address for over 30 years, and my license is valid till I'm 70, and I don't intend to move. So I've got the old-fashioned paper license. My passport ran out of date in 2010. Whenever the folk want details, I have to show them a birth certificate I've got a copy of. That, again, if you're onto some of these building sites, you have to prove who you are for payment and whatnot. I just say, well, there you go, that's it. You're not got a driving license. Well, then I got a photo, Ken. They look at you, Ken. Well, I've stayed there for 30 years, Ken. So
Tiff
you don't
just
need that.
said it was her, Glyn, that said about matey on your channel. And that was
You're
when
in
Holly
mute still,
got
Glenn. Glenn, you're still in mute. You're still in mute, Glenn.
You're muted, Glyn.
Oh, he's maybe on his phone.
Oh yeah, he was on the phone to somebody, wasn't
He's on the phone, aye. Just when we seen him speaking there, he thought he was speaking to us.
he? Yeah, I did. He looked at the camera and his lips moved.
He was speaking to us, we couldn't hear him.
What time are we on? Oh, we got a good hour yet. So I've done the washing up today.
I need to think about warming up my sausage rolls. My tea. Oh,
Well, being as it's Thursday, we'll probably have what's ever on the cheap rail at the Tesco's Express when she calls in to get a packet of ciggies tonight. She's a bugger for that. She don't like to see anything going to waste. If it's got to eat it now price on it, as she says, I eat it. But some of them, when the prices are out like that, you can freeze them quite safely, bits of meat.
Or cook them and then freeze them.
Yeah. Well, what her and her daughter, every now and again, they'll go out and buy bulk bags of meat, all different types. They'll have a day cooking it all up. The daughter takes bigger tubs because she's got the 3 kids and a partner as well. And it's just the 2 of us. So we got all the Chinese boxes all stacked up in the freezer. And if you want a meal, you just look at what's written on the box, take the tub out, take the rice out or the spuds, whatever are going with it. And, 10 minutes, you got a meal in front of you.
I like just to potluck it, take it out in the morning, leave it to defrost, and then come home. And, well, I've made the mistake. I've thought it was mince and tatties. It was mince, so I've boiled potatoes, and you found out it's name mince. It's bolognese, so you put in bolognese and mince, bolognese and tatties, oh dearie me, or normal mince with spaghetti, because I cocked up there.
Well, I love her cooking. She's an amazing cook, but I don't like the fact that she's been at work all bloody day. Then she's got to come in and stand in front of the cooker. And no, if it's nukeable, nuke it. It's food, it's sustenance. It'll keep us going, I got jacket potatoes tonight because of well, yeah, you've had the duck, haven't you, Danny? James beans on toast. Yeah, that's Bon. Are you in Scotland? What part? The Scottish
Aberdeenshire. Aberdeenshire. 20 mile north Aberdeen.
What's happening? Where am I? StreamYard.
Who's thinking about it?
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't hear nothing now. I muted myself on StreamYard and unvideoed myself, and then I can't hear nothing. And I just saw this little orange light on my keyboard, and I was like,
"Oh God!"
Yeah, sorry. That was actually Rev calling me because I think we might have had a bit of a data thingy last night. Holly, I need to chat to you later about something. But won't do that here. I'll contact you later on this evening.
So I've got a bloody great rubber mat on the floor, a proper office one that your wheels are supposed to go on to stop it damaging the carpet. And the bastard keeps rolling up against the wall, falling off. Then I get stuck.
I'm the same with this. This chair I bought, and I needed like a decent chair to sit in. I think you can.
Yeah, it's the same as mine.
Yeah.
I had to get a decent chair to sit in because the chair I was sitting in, my back was absolute. But by the late evening, my back was killing me. So I bought this. Now the trouble is with the bloody thing is because the carpet's a bit of like a medium pile carpet. The bloody wheels dig in.
Yeah, that's what I get.
And I'll try and move the bloody thing back. The wheels dig in. I'm like, whoa! Or then when I spin the chair around to move it forward, the chair don't move, and I smash me fucking knee off the side of the desk.
But trouble with me, because I've got arthritis in my neck and my shoulders and at the top of my spine, sometimes I got to stretch and the cushion is too far back for me to rest my neck in. So what I normally do is I have that one in behind my head like that, and that keeps my neck in the right place so it don't start to ache. But it looks ridiculous.
Yeah, but I'm so glad I bought this gaming chair because I can, not when I'm like now, I can just sit back, I can adjust the back, whatever. I can just sit here and chill. And well, there's that last bloody thing I was sitting on. I had 2 cushions on it, no back support, and I was always leaning forward. Oh, because my back was aching, but.
I tell you what, Tony, I can go back before the divvy card, mate. I can remember the old Green Shield stamps.
Roger, no. Yeah, as soon as you mentioned Green Shield stamps, yeah.
Showing me age now.
Would you like some stamps with your purchase? Oh, yes, please. Yeah, Green Shield.
You try explaining to a kid nowadays that the milk used to be on your doorstep in a glass bottle when you got up.
Yes, up in the morning, didn't you? Out your front door.
I used to do milk deliveries when I was still at school.
Yeah, beat the birds to it because that used to annoy me because I used to like taking we always used to have silver top. And I used to love getting the silver top in, taking the top off and getting a thin knife and scraping the cream out off the top of the milk.
Richard Upton said, I can remember the war bonds. I'm not quite that old, but they were still about when I was a kid.
That used to fucking annoy me. I used to open my front door, look out, and the bloody birds would beat me to it, peck through the fucking silver fucking top, and fucking ate the cream. I was like, you bastards.
Rob, what was England like when I was 18? It was bloody magic, Rob. It was a magical time of life when I was 18.
What's time? Bloody hell, 4:30.
That's why I said about an hour, and I'll have to shut down anyway because the missus will be home. But
I'll have to go before that.
I'll come on for 20 minutes, half an hour. Next minute's 4:30. I've got to do dinner yet. I'm only doing stir fry tonight, so that's only going to take 20 minutes in it. So.
Full fat, yes, absolutely. Gold top had to be.
Oh, yeah,
good afternoon, mate. How are you? HE Media, good mate of mine.
There's HE. Good afternoon, HE. Thanks for popping on mine in the evening. Really appreciate it.
Very knowledgeable on photography. He helped me out a lot when I got back into it with advice and that. Still remember ration books. Yeah, I found one of my parents one. Rationing actually stopped, I think it was 53. So that would be about 7-8 years before I was born when they actually stopped the rationing books.
The ration sweeties up till then and that, didn't they? Sweeties and bananas were still rationed up till the 50s. I remember hearing that.
Yeah, actual rationing stopped. I think it was 53 or 54.
Yeah,
if I remember rightly.
Rationing still carried on to that extent after the war, where you were only allowed small amounts, one egg every month.
One egg a week or something like that. I mean, you walk into a supermarket now and you look at the egg shelf, there's no eggs. You're like, you bastards.
77, 78.
Days of rationing. It
Richard.
was 1 egg per person per week, wasn't it? 1 egg. Was it 2 ounces of cheese or something like that,
Yeah.
or something?
If you could get real egg, it was usually in powdered form.
Yeah, and and then they substituted egg to powder egg, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Same with the milk.
It was one egg a week per person.
The name of it. Trying to think what the name of the milk. Klim. The dried powdered milk. Because it's what they used to send to all the POWs in Germany, and they used to use them to make tools and stuff like that. And even the air pipe in the Great Escape, that was made up of Klim milk tins. How did I remember that? Fucking hell. Honestly, there is so much useless information between my friggin' ears. I must have a clear out, make room for some new stuff.
Same here.
That's
I can't remember what happened yesterday, but I can happen what happened 40 years ago.
Well, it's like me with them photographs that I showed the other week of me when I was a kid. I can remember each and every one of them days, though they were yesterday, and I was no more than four and a half years old. You know, but you asked me what I said 10 minutes ago. If it's gone out of my head, I can't retrieve it.
I'm saying.
It's old age, mate. It's old age.
People say, "Oh, we sent you an email last week."
In the wardrobe.
Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Oh yeah, I've got the email. And did you read the contents of it? I said, well, yeah, I did, but no, I'm like, hang on a minute, hang on. But someone asked me something happened 40 years ago. I'm like, yeah, no problem. Yeah, I remember that. Cool. Yeah, remember that day we went out and done this and that. Or remember that night out down the Warehouse Club that night when you got up to whatever. Oh yeah. Remember that, but something happened like yesterday. I'm just like,
Well, that's the reason I'm really looking forward to this year's holiday up in Cumbria. I mean, I've said before, Heather arranged for an old mate of mine to come down that I hadn't seen for 10 years, pop over for a few hours from Newcastle. And we only had a couple of hours to catch up. He's the president of the bike club I was in. So this year he's going to come over. Hoping it's the first weekend that we're there, because we go for 10 days, but we try and include both weekends. We go on the Friday, come back on the following a week ago, the Monday. So we get weekends there plus in the week. So him and his missus are coming over. We booked the bigger cottage this time, the 2-bedroom. So we can spend a bit of time with them, and me and him can catch up over the past. And then hopefully Pap's going to come up for a few days as well.
Well, that'd be good.
He'll come up on the train. We'll go down to Carlisle, pick him up off the train, and he can come back and he can stay as long as he wants, basically. If he wants to stay the week, he can stay the bloody week.
Yeah, brilliant.
It's just nice to be able to do it, you know.
Yeah, it's good when you get the opportunity to do things like that. You got to take them. Anyway, my good people, I'm going to jump off because I've got to now's time.
All right, mate. Appreciate you dropping in.
I'm going to sort dinner out for me and Mummy. And then I'm going to have a couple of hours chill out, and then I should be on for the carnage. I'm in for the chat tonight.
I probably won't be on tonight, mate. But I will take time tomorrow.
But all welcome. All welcome.
Yeah, and anybody's welcome in here, and those that aren't can't get in. So
way to do it.
It's simple.
Easiest way to do it. Those who ain't welcome, block them.
Yeah.
Then we ain't got no aggro of.
I'm a bit dubious whenever I get anybody like in the back panel, in the back room, that I don't know.
Yeah.
But most of the girls that come in here, I know the name, I know the face. If they spoke, I even know the accent and the voice, you know. that's one thing that does stick in there. So,
Yeah.
like yourself,
I have learnt over the months.
yeah, we've got to be a lot more cautious, mate. Afternoon, Gypsy.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for dropping in, mate.
Anyway, right, yeah, I'm going to jump off, people's. Take care,
See you
Roger.
later.
Thanks for having me on board. Bon, take care, matey. Always good to see you.
Yes, good to see you as well, Glenn.
Yeah, and
Send
I
my mum
will never forget that haggis you sent me. That's in burnt on my brain. That haggis, it was bloody gorgeous.
And that was just one of the shops. That was now a fancy butcher's one.
Oh, that was it. But I'll tell you what, it was that was bloody lovely bit of haggis. That was me and my mum sat in that at that and cool. Yeah, there weren't none left. We had the lot in one sitting.
Quite right. Quite right.
See, there's another one that's come a long way. Gypsy Auditor there. I can remember when he first started out.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to jump off. Take care. I'll catch you later, all right?
We'll see you later.
See you later. Take care, people. Love you all.
Bye-bye.
Love to everyone. Take care.
Bye. If there's anybody else out there that wants to come on the panel for the last 3/4 of an hour, you're more than welcome. The link's at the top. Yeah, Gypsy, no, you grew pretty quick, mate. You got a good reputation for what you were doing. As you know now, I don't watch a lot of the auditors. I do watch one or two, you included, but I just don't go in there. Oh, no! No, I've got to welcome this guy into the chat. He's a very good friend of mine, Mark Thompson in there. Hello, mate. But yeah, Gypsy went from a handful of viewers and then all of a sudden, boom, he really took off. I remember the day he started it, his first one. How are you doing, Mark? I thought you were. No. The cut-off time is 5:30, Paul, because literally the missus should be home about 5 minutes after that.
Well, I'm afraid I'm going to have to love you and leave you. My belly's rumbling and I need to go and get something to eat.
All right,
Yeah,
Bob,
I'll just eat.
thank you very much for dropping in, buddy. You're always welcome.
No bother at all, Roger. Catch you later, Roger. Catch you later, Spike. Send my best to your good lady, Spike, as well. Tell her I said hello and goodbye.
I will do. All right, mate.
Yeah, and I'll see you later. I'll catch up with you folks later. Take care and enjoy yourselves.
All right,
Bye
bye.
now.
Look after yourself,
Look after
mate.
yourself, mate.
Bye now. See you later, folks. Goodbye now. Bye-bye.
See you later.
Bye. That's right. I can catch up with the chat now. I'm a bugger for that.
Yeah, I just had my tea, beef stew. That's why I was off camera.
I'm muted so we couldn't hear you munching.
Too right.
All you'll
Or
get here
cranking
is
with the
click,
bowl.
click, 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 click as my top plate's going like this with the food. Oh, wow. HEL, good afternoon, mate. This is one of our friends from America. He exposes a lot of the fraud and going-ons over there. Good afternoon to you, HEL.
Oh, HL.
Is the Rev on? Rev isn't in the chat, but if he's listening, if you want to come on, Si, I mean, we're going to keep going for about another 3/4 of an hour. You're more than welcome, mate. Same with you, HEL, if you want to come on, buddy. We never have a big show in here, but would you mind if I share? No, certainly, Gypsy. Holly, if you're still there, could you bang Gypsy's link up in the chat, please? You know, this makes a change for me ordering Molly around like that. It's usually the other way around. You chuck HEL up as well if you've got it. Oh, he's a bit busy. Yeah, fair enough, mate. Fair enough. I know he does a lot, and he does a lot about putting together cases and that against corruption and that in the police and wherever he finds it. He's well worth going and having a look. Oh, you're still on with the veterans thing, yeah.
I just went and clicked on his name, but yeah, that don't give me a link.
It didn't give you a link.
No.
Right, let's see what I can do from here. I've got to open another See, this is where I get stuck. All these things open. But I can go straight to him because he's in my
Oh, Lost Souls there.
Oh,
She's
boy, is
going to
that
do it, I
awesome.
think.
I've got his channel in the subs list, so I can get into it pretty quick. But Holly's always quicker than. Now, why has that gone smaller? Oh, crying out loud! All I've got ATL is your ATL transparency one.
Yeah, I see it.
That's the
I
one.
see the link now.
Yeah,
I'll go and subscribe.
that's it. Right, let's make that bigger again so I can bloody see it. No, it's not having any of that. Oh, there we go. Whoosh, whoosh. What's on there? Oh, I don't know what I've got going on here. Right, get that one off. There we go. Holly's put it up. That's near enough.
Yeah, I've just subscribed.
Yeah, he's a great bloke. The other one, Junkyard News. He's one I follow. I used to follow him when he was actually doing a bit of auditing as well. I met him literally the day he lost his little cat. He used to have a cat that he called LC, little cat. And unfortunately, it died on the day. And that's how we got chatting to each other. He's another nice guy over there. What we got here? Just... What you say sorry for, Mark? Yeah, ATL. It's the same over here, mate. I mean, we've got so many veterans living on the streets, got mental health issues, and our government are just preferring to put illegal immigrants in accommodation rather than have vets on the streets that serve the country. I find it absolutely sickening. I really do. I mean, if they're going to house people, let's get our people in there first. That's the way it should have been done. Oh, we got AMG in the back room now. I recognise that mug. Afternoon, buddy. Bigger house people.
Hello.
How you doing, Andrew?
I'm Wrangle.
Oh, you want to look posh, dear?
Look,
That's why you look behind me. You can see the shit pit.
Oh, you're balancing.
He loves that, doesn't he? He's got.
I've got fair hair.
Do you who that reminds me of? Gypsy. I can remember when you were always doing that. Got to have the hair right before he goes on camera. It's a lot easier when you ain't got none, mate. You ain't got to worry about it.
Oh yeah, you know. Great. She said I've gone great at the top now.
Well, me and Spikesy, we like the close touch when they stroke us. She said, I want to run my fingers through your hair. I said, well, you got a long way to go to try and bloody find some.
Try downstairs.
Yeah, I'll give you the hint. Trouser beard's longer than what I got on my head. Oh, dear. Yeah, I can remember Gypsy doing that when he first used to start me. What's going on in here? To giving millions that you claim. Yeah. He bagged a load more this week anyway. He's been here. His begging bowl's getting bigger.
Who's that?
Zelensky.
Oh, yeah.
It's ridiculous. Why they're pandering to him like that?
It's just
you got people stood out the bloody bit outside the buildings where he's been visiting that are probably going hungry. Their kids are missing meals, and there's that git we got there promising millions to him again. It's just not right. It's not right.
Well, I think it's a big theatre show. At the end of the day, all them people are dying for what? I'm going to fight for my country, but it's all just a part of the fucking this.
Yeah, James, just my mate, just agreed with you in the chat. There it is, and they're going to keep it going as long as they can because it suits their narrative, their agendas.
Well,
I
they
don't know
want
what
another
the
Cold
is.
War, don't they?
Yeah,
Is it a money earner?
literally, what they're doing is de-arming us and Europe because they're sending all the weapons there, which is not good considering Europe is supposed to be building this EU army. Oh, hello, sirens.
Yeah, it's
Doors
like the dinghies, isn't it? They could stop that in a fucking heartbeat, but they don't.
Yeah.
The war's
Everything
going on
they're
for
doing is about sending them back. It's not about bloody stopping them. And that if they stopped them, they wouldn't have to do any of the other stuff. But they just want them to keep coming. It's
This is why I'm trying to buy this house. Council house now. He said it's worth 150 grand. It's not got a driveway. 150 grand for a shitty 3-bed council house. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Um,
well, you want
with
to see the
discount.
prices down here.
with discount, it's 81 grand they want for it.
Is
So-
Bulldog in the room? Yeah. Good afternoon, Bulldog.
So what I'm
There's
thinking,
one that is exposing what's going on. England for the English and
yeah, that guy with
Yorkshire
the
Rose.
Yorkshire Rose, yeah.
They're exposing a lot more than people are expecting to see. Put it that way. Lottie,
Yeah,
good
I see
afternoon,
Bulldog
sweetheart.
with Active Patriot.
Yeah. Well, he
Yeah.
was one of the originals, wasn't he? He's so passionate about what he does. And he's such a funny guy when he starts. It's absolutely
He is, yeah.
hilarious. I mean,
Yeah,
everybody goes on about the scooter chase, but I can remember a lot more that he had done that was absolutely hilarious. I think the funniest one is when he kept the recording going in the van when the police arrested him. Oh,
Yeah, I
it was
didn't see that one.
hilarious. And it's his accent and his voice as well, you know. It's
He takes the piss out of them, doesn't
and then
he?
what was the other one he got caught? Oh, he was live streaming from a bloody train and he was saying about how he jumped the trains to get to Dover. Of course, the next bloody station, they're all on dragging him off. I said, you shouldn't have said it on the live. I said, because they'll follow you, mate, you know.
He's ruthless, isn't he?
I've always
Absolutely
stayed behind him.
ruthless. At the end of
Yes,
the day,
Bulldog, you have. I've noticed you've been coming in front of the camera a lot more on it, and good on you, mate. Oh, Budge is back as well. Sorry, Budge, didn't see you back in there, mate. Yesterday, tanks. Today, jets. Tomorrow, our young men and women. Well, the invading army is trying to take most of the women, isn't they? From what I've seen. Yeah, I saw that. His mouth does get a bit. Yeah, the way he goes at him, I mean, that can't do is a lot of good in the eyes of the law, really. But oh, Brian's in as well. Good afternoon, mate. We've got a half hour left. I'm gonna have to unlock the door and let the missus in now with everybody coming in. Unopposed, yes, Mark, it is unopposed, totally, mate. Absolutely unopposed. Both sides of the channel.
so
I mean,
Well, I'm
they've
trying-
got the. Sorry, go on.
yeah, I'm just going to say what I'm trying to say is they're letting all fingers out there, the dinghy divers. So there must be a reason. There's no houses. That's why I'm trying to buy this house now. Because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
is right to buy going to end up finishing? You don't know, do you?
That
You're
is
going
an
to say,
issue.
oh, there's no more fucking houses to buy.
I mean, we looked into because I was supposed to get an inheritance a couple of years ago, but my family, my mother cut me out the will totally, and I was going to use the money from that to actually buy this one off the council. So, you know, we were more stable in our old age, as it were, because this is 3-bedroom, although one's a box bedroom. Now, if we were claiming benefits for the rent rather than paying them ourselves from wages, the council would take this one off us and offer us a 1-bedroom flat or something. But because we're actually paying ourselves, they can't do it.
Well, that's
We've
good
already
then.
had the letters begging us to downsize so they can put immigrants and things in here. No, piss off. It ain't happening here.
I've worked it out, £85 a week. It's like £4.5 grand a year we're paying. But we've been trying to buy this house for a year. They had this thingy come out and said it's surveyors, but it's worth 150 grand for. But you can have a second opinion. So we've done that. 6 months later, nothing's happening. It's all backlogged, they said.
Oh,
I said,
bloody
just phone them up again and tell them we'll accept the 150, pay 81.
Yeah.
Just say,
Well, we could have bought this one for 63. And I was going to buy it outright, and that would have still left me, quite a few grand in the bank. Like I was expecting about 100 to 120 grand once we'd sorted out the mum's house and everything like that. But because I was cut out the will, Danny just sent the aftermath of the boat and the crane episode the other day. Jesus, did that ever make a mess? 2 boats wrote off and a crane. I wonder what the binging and bonging was then. I forgot I've got that on there. Who's saying what I pay £85 a week in rent? I think ours is around, it's around 100, maybe 105 a month. A week, sorry. God, I'd love to get it for a month for that. But they've really slacked on the maintenance. I mean, it's needed a new roof for over 30 years. The last time they were on the programme to do it, the bastards pissed off down the road, used all the materials on a paid private job. So this one never got done. The porch at the front, the lintels got concrete cancer in, all the rebars rusted. And I've told them, look, it's a safety issue. You either sort it out or I'm going to rip the thing off myself and I'll build a wooden one out there. And I haven't heard anything back from them, so I do most of the maintenance.
Our roof's been leaking 3 years. They keep coming out, changing the flashing on the chimney. It's only leaking from this side of the house into the kids' bedroom, not on my bedroom. So they know where the fucking problem is. They keep putting flashing over flashing, and then they come out last time, repointed the chimney, and it'll be all good, they said.
It's usually the step flashings that go up the side of the problem. I used to do a bit of lead work.
And then when it's pissing down a couple of weeks ago, again it's dripping through the same fucking hole in the kid's bedroom.
Yeah, what the council idiots don't seem to realise is, okay, the leak's there, but the water can be getting in below it. And by capillary action on the felt can go over the top.
Well, I bought a fucking telescopic ladder off Amazon, £100 because it's dead high, our fucking loft ceiling. We've gone in there and I've took a video of it on the chimney breast where this fucking thingy sits to it. That's all white and rotten, and you can see it when you touch like the beams that are coming down off the chimney.
Wet. Yeah, it's tracking down the rafters. Yeah, and it's tracking down the rafters.
Yeah, basically, it's not fucking fixed. But just shut that door for me. But basically, we phoned them up when we put into right. Once you put into right to buy, they won't do fuck all for you. But we phoned them up saying, "Oh, it's been leaking for years and it's still not fixed." But they said they honour it on the 2nd of March. But we phoned them like 2 months ago.
Oh, hello.
So hopefully they're going to take the chimney off and seal it up. Just seal it up. That's probably the only way to do it. We pay for it now, but we can't do anything because it's not our house. It's not gone through. So how can they said, no, you can't pay for it now. We'll just do it. Pay someone to take the chimney off and seal it all up. No, you can't do it. It's not your house. It might not go through. With 3 years, they're trying to fix this. They want me getting a loft. They come round, just jump on the fucking roof. They won't go in the loft and see where it's leaking from. You know what I mean? Like a normal person would do, like I've done. Think right, that's where it's coming from.
Yeah. Have you got felt up there as well, or is it just slate or tile?
Yeah. It's felt, yeah. It's felt
Yeah.
on it, but it's got holes in
Because
it.
felt is supposed to be the safety net if you get like a
If it's
small leak.
it goes through the tiles. Yeah, there's holes in the fucking felt. They won't even get in They won't even get in the fucking loft. They come round
they
and
won't.
yeah, we can fix this for you. We'll jump. They put scaffolding up and everything, but don't even bother going in the fucking loft. Not one person in 3 years have gone in the loft.
Well, I told them several years ago, look, if you can't send anybody out to do the roof, I said, get some bloody scaffold up, get the felt and the tiles here, because they put plain tiles on, the small ones, Brosley's. And I said, look, drop the stuff off here. I'll bloody do it. Oh, no, we can't have you doing that. I said, well, I spent 5 years working on roofs. You know, I've done slate roofs, rag slate roofs and all sorts. No, can't do that.
Council do the minimalist job possible. One time, about 5 years ago, I had a broken tire in the bathroom. So I thought, imagine a broken tire. He went, "Where's the tire?" I said, "Well, I threw it in the bin." Oh, I can't do nothing then.
Yeah, so Danny just said in the chat, because he used to manage roofing, as he said exactly what I did. The water can get in one place and be found, you know, anywhere. It's the new one, HE. It doesn't. It's a breathable one. They don't. A lot of people don't use the old F1 felt anymore. They use that German breathable stuff, whatever it's called. I can't remember what it's called now.
In my house, it's like a black fucking, like a fucking dead fucking thick fucking. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's probably F1 mineral felt. Well, Danny just said, what have you got up there? Is it slate, profile tiles, plain? Tyvek. Yes, Danny, that's the name. Sorry, the name went out in the edit at the time.
You can even see where they fucking put new flashing over the old flashing.
Well, look, he's posh. He can walk outside with his camera. That actually looks like slate. Composite slates. Yeah, he's lost Wi-Fi now. Look. Yeah, thank you for that, Danny. The name just went out of my head. It's a lot easier to use than the old F1, but it does rip as easy. Yeah, you lost Wi-Fi out there. It looked like slate to me, composite slate.
I'm turning the camera around, no.
No, when you went up the road, up the garden, you lost Wi-Fi, I think.
Basically, it's that there, the same.
Yeah, that's slate, composite slate then, by the looks of it.
That fucking grey shirt. Crap.
Yeah, you'll be surprised what we found under some of the old slate roofs in Cornwall, mate.
I live next to Spike. Look out my window. I'm down road from it.
You're breaking up there, AMG. Your Wi-Fi's. That's it.
Going in.
It's okay, the German stuff, says HE. Yeah, Brian, that is exactly it. They don't do a proper job. It's just a patch-up job every time.
Council are crap.
I mean, I did have some photos. I still got them because I used to take pictures of all the roofs we'd done. And the old rag slate used to be brilliant because you buy it second hand, and you used to have to cut it to size with a Zax. And you could have. We used to get paid by the meter, where some of the slates on their own were a meter. So we used to make and it's a specialised job as well. So
the guys that come round though, they're fucking brilliant. You know what I mean? They're fucking talking to me. You know, council guys.
She always got a chimney in the middle of the ridge line. Yes, Danny. Looking from the pictures that he showed us just now, it looks like all the stacks are ridge line. And one or two of them even looked like they were near the hip ends as well. Yeah, it does, Danny, especially with the Zacks because of the shape of the bloody thing. Yeah,
Well,
I miss
Roger, I'm going to
Price
drop
work.
out, mate.
All right, and Spike, appreciate you dropping
All right.
in, buddy. Always
All right, mate.
appreciate the support on this here little channel.
Cheers, mate.
I'll catch you later, MG.
Spike, phone me later.
Yeah.
If you want to
all right,
jump
mate.
up, Lottie, have you got your camera on?
Catch everybody in chat later.
See you later.
All right, buddy.
See ya.
Take care, mate. Be
See you,
safe.
mate.
Take care, Gypsy. Right, what I'm going to do for those that are still watching and we've got some latecomers, I'm just going to unlock the front door so I can stay on right up until the point where she walks in the door and shouts at me. But she might even jump in and say hello. I'm sat in my work. I don't care what you're dressed in, Lottie. If you want to come on, sweetheart. It don't matter what you're wearing, Lottie. You know, the whiskers will take the heat off of that.
She's probably not got a beard unless she hasn't got a tash.
I don't care what she's got. She's a lovely girl. No, I've got to know her a bit better now because we exchanged a few emails the other day on a subject that we both enjoy. And yeah, she's a lovely one. Really is. Well, most of the girls we got in here are Tiff, Holly, all the others that come in, Sarah, the two Sarahs. I've got another one that comes in, not regularly, but she's normally more on Facebook. You might have seen her in the chat on some of the videos, on the comments. She's another nice woman. I've actually spoken to her personally. I don't know why, luckily enough on this channel anyway, I seem to attract the right people, as it were, you know?
Yeah.
Nobody comes in here looking for an argument.
No.
You know, if a bit of piss taking goes on, but it's done in a nice way and everybody understands the humour, you know?
Yeah, I'm like a normal person as well. I don't troll or anything like that.
No, I don't, mate. I don't.
No, I don't.
You know, I'll go channel surfing, but that's literally to find motor racing videos or, you know, videos I'm interested in, documentaries. What's this, Tiffany? I need you. Will, Tiff? Actually, you're up that part of the world when we're in Cumbria. You're up north, aren't you? Yeah, apart from that Richard Upton, he's right knob.
I can't see the comments here. I have to look at the other screen.
Oh, if there's any directed at you, mate, I'll tell you. Don't worry. As long as I see it.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all good.
Yeah, that's what I like about this little. That's why I don't want it to get too big, see. I always set my target at 500, and that was because you needed 500 to get a community page. And then all of a sudden they started... I got an awesome laugh. Oh, God, see, I lost myself in the conversation again then. Yeah, I didn't want it to get too big because I prefer that personal touch with the subs. You know, I understand, like, Dan's got 45k now, but not all of them come into the channel, you know? But, yeah, it's like I said, I see most of my subs as friends because they are friends. We talk regular and
keep your friends close, your community close.
Keep your enemies closer.
We all fucking know. We all know each other. We all have a laugh, anyway, don't we?
Yeah, and I think we've got a nice diverse of age groups in here as well, you know?
I think you need to thingy with Benson, though.
I'm not interested in him anymore, mate. He's got nothing to say that I want to hear, and I got nothing more to say to him. So
You've lived that life, Roger, though, haven't you?
I've been there, mate. That's what I said. There is one in there.
Wisdom.
He won't mind me mentioning his name. Is young Jacoblaze, and I had a chat with him privately a little while back. And he is a nice lad, but like a lot of youngsters, that they have got their own issues and problems. Scobie, good afternoon, buddy. It's I give advice. Obviously, it's up to them whether they take it. But the advice I give is from my life experience. I haven't seen and been everything. I'm far from perfect. But I have done a lot of things in my life, and it's nice to pass it on. But you can't make people take advice, It's up to the recipient. It's like giving offence to somebody. You can't give offence; you can only take it.
Well, it is AMG Rider on the panel. English for the England. What is it? England for the English. Sorry, wrong way around.
Yeah, it's Bulldog. Yes,
Big
Danny.
up Bulldog. Big up Active.
To prove a point, I will say a bit about him. The comment that Nathan was kicking off about in the Glyn's live was literally a comment that Danny had put in Discord. I'd replied to it with my opinion, and he saw the comment, and you saw the reaction he got from it. Well, if I read somebody's comment, I was okay, fine. If they want to mention it at a later date, they'll mention it. But the comment's been said; it's there for everybody to see. Yeah, I've had nasty comments directed at me before on lives, and okay, fine, that's your opinion. Bye bye. Over my head. Let's move on.
I know, yeah. He takes everything to heart, doesn't he? I think because he's fucking he's like he is probably autistic, and he will take things to heart, but he won't let things
know whether
drop.
he's autistic. He
won't let things
He's
drop.
got triggers. I'd put it. He's got triggers, because sometimes he's been a nice lad on there. He's been a valuable member of the community.
Yeah.
But then he'll get triggered, and that's when it starts. And the thing is, when it
He
starts
won't
with him, he won't stop.
Yeah, it won't start with it. Yeah.
That
He
is
doesn't
the
let
issue.
go, does he?
Yeah, I mean, me and Dan have, I won't say we've had arguments, but we've had a disagreement over a subject. We've got a different opinion. We both voice our opinion, and then we move on. We're still mates at the end of it, It's evening again. Afternoon, Gary.
Well, you see them bike riders, you got to be aware of them, aren't you? And bike riders.
Lost Souls has just put it in there. Jack Blaze, he has got ADHD, and he is autistic to an extent. Maybe that's the same with Nathan, but it doesn't excuse the way they are, I mean, Jack he's a lovely lad, but as the Rev said to him last night, you've got no life experience, so you shouldn't really be talking from the past because you haven't experienced it. All you've done is read about it, which I totally agree. I'm no angel. I was told things as a youngster that I should have learned, and I totally ignored it. But I got through life with what I was told from my elders.
I think everyone learns by the mistakes. I
prefer to learn by other people's mistakes, and then I don't make any. But yeah, you're right. It's usually any dumb animal, if it hurts itself doing something, it doesn't usually go back and do that again,
Yeah. And we are animals, aren't we?
Exactly, Gary. Everybody's got a position in life. They've got a place, and it's up to them whether they stay in that place or whether they lift themselves out of it or drop down out of it altogether. Exactly, mate. Yes, Tiff, some autistic people are very clever. In fact, most of the autistic people I've come across
Jim Bob.
are very clever. There was the film about it, wasn't there? What was the one with? Oh God, he was the caretaker's son, or he was a caretaker at the school, or something. I seem to remember a film about it. All part of growing up. You learn faster from your own mistakes. Yes, mate, you do. Or most of us did. I never did a few things, but hence my broken shoulder and that. But that's a perfect example. Let's see if I can find the picture. Pictures. I've got so many files on this computer. I must sort them out. Yeah, well into my 50s, I got told that I was too old for mountain biking. Afternoon, Nick. The main reason and the only reason I had to pack up is because that was how my shoulder ended up after my last outing. That bone there, that piece there is supposed to be up there, poking out of there, and that is your shoulder, all held together with ligaments and tendons. Well, as you can see, there's none there because they all exploded.
Dangerous, isn't it?
And I drove back from Wales with that. But yeah, that was the only thing that stopped me doing the mountain bike racing. The downhill was injury. And at my age, obviously, it can be a lot worse than when it happens to youngsters. Yeah, it's not always going. Life's never always going to be a success story, Ed, and you're right. I mean, you know, I started out with nothing, and I've got nearly all of it left. But you're absolutely bang on with that.
You're a survivor.
Yeah,
I bought 2 electric bikes fucking a few months ago. Wow, fucking every time I get pissed off, let's go out on an electric bike. Fuck me.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Sorry, AMG. Exactly, Tiff. I mean, you are exactly the same age as Nathan. And it shows the difference in what personalities can do to people. You know, I know you have your issues and your own problems, you know, like your anxiety and stuff like that. And everybody's different, you know. You make allowances, but some people take them allowances and I won't say abuse them. They know they're doing wrong, but they just don't stop. And I try and understand people that have got these problems. You know, as I said last night on Glenn's, I've said I don't have any mental health issues. Well, straight away, the missus disagreed with me. She said anybody that throws himself down a mountain at 40 miles an hour on a bloody push bike has got to have some issues with themselves. And at which point I had to agree with her, you know what I mean? But old uns don't bounce, Gary said. Yes, we don't, mate. We don't. We hit the deck and we stay there. Sorry, AMG. I haven't been answering any of the... It's a shame you can't see the chat, actually. Heather is right. Yes, Lottie, she is, darling. And that's why I'm taking notice of her now. She's only got my best interest at heart, and I have started listening now. But yes, Nicky, he does have anger issues, but that comes from something a bit deeper, I think. At least you're staying active. I try. I be as active as I can. Obviously, it's better for my health as well. Keeping the blood flowing, and it does help stop clots and that. But when you've got the constant fatigue, you know, as Dan will tell you, even a 5-minute walk can wipe you out for the rest of the day if it hits you right. It's you can go out one day, you can feel absolutely brilliant. I'll walk up the town, I'm great. Following day, if I want to do it, or a couple of days later, if I do it, I'll have to stop 2 or 3 times. I'll have to have 2 hours sleep when I get home. And the bloody town's less than half a mile away, you know. I've just had to change my whole lifestyle. I've always been an outdoorsman, and I've got to realise now that I can't do a lot of the things I used to do, and I've just got to accept it and adapt to it, basically. Yeah, you did like that one, yes, Lottie. I put her onto a video at the shooting range that I did a while back. And again, but that we don't have to walk far. We can park the cars right behind the hut where we shoot. We don't have to walk more than 10 yards. So it's something we can do together that doesn't knacker or break either of us. The same with the fishing. You've never seen central heating like that. It's actually worked from a log burner in the shed behind it, because all the trees they cut down out there for the forestry, free wood. And I think because it's connected to an outdoor system there, it shouldn't be banned, or they shouldn't get a fine for it like they're doing now. Do you still? Yes, James, I do. Both sheds are still full of it. There's 14 bikes in the old concrete one, and I've got my two best ones in my workshop at the top. Because James used to call him regular. He was more or less a neighbour of mine. Yes, I do still shoot OB. We only shoot at the blinking ranges now. We don't shoot live quarry at all. The only time I shoot live quarry now is if I'm eating it. And I haven't done that for years. Sorry, AMG. I'm not ignoring you, mate. I'm just trying to keep
Well, it's all right. Are you a prepper?
Me? I'm not so much a prepper. I'm a survivalist. I do bushcrafting. I've always done survival courses. I used to run survival courses quite a few years ago. You know, living off the land, escape and evade, all that sort of shit.
So
until I had my strokes, I was still doing it. I'd grab my bivvy and my DOS bag, grab my little overnight thing, as I call it, with my little twig stove and that, and I'd just bugger up off into the woods for a day or two.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, I enjoy that. Well, I've still got me, because I had it out showing people the other day. That's my fire kit. There's everything in there to start fires, even in the wet and the cold. And give me an axe and a shield, and I'm set for the apocalypse. Nice one, Ollie. Did you do Nash? No, Tony. I did try and sign up when I was young. A lot of my mates were going in. The national service wasn't about then, when I was old enough to go in. But I got failed twice on the medical. I was born with a hole in my heart, and at the time I also had a shadow on my lungs, so they failed me. So I had to pay for all my training so I could be the same as my mates that got in the army. So I set out from, I was probably about 17 to learn all this stuff, living on the land and that sort of stuff. My weapons training I did abroad because legally you couldn't do it here. Be careful putting that on there, AMG. I didn't realise your camera dropped. I don't care what people do, but if that gets seen on camera, you got to realise
it's legal in the EU, and CBD is.
It's certain places in the EU, and there's a lot of American states now legalising it as well, and they're realising they can make money off it, so they can make taxes off of it. I mean, there's I can't remember what state it is now, but after 2 years after they legalised it, they publicised what they'd done with the tax money that they'd made on it. And it turned out they had a brand new council building. They don't call them council buildings over there, but, you know, the main big building. That was brand new and paid for out the taxes of it. They did some work on the streets and stuff like that. And that was all through the taxes that they'd earned through it after they'd made it legal. And they realised that it brings the crime level down usually as well. You know, people ain't got to go out and steal it if they can go into a shop and buy it. You know.
Yeah.
Canada's got the same sort of laws, but they're trying to change them. Yes, HE, a lot of us was of a certain age, you know. I mean, they'd say, "What you eating for your Sunday dinner?" Well, whatever I go out and shoot on the Saturday. that was Sunday dinner. You took potluck on what it was. It was up in the woods at the time. But we did have choice from rabbit, bird, obviously. There was deer up there as well. But we'd only take them when we had the legal cull on up there. I don't like killing things unnecessarily. Even with my mindset, it just shouldn't be done. Well, unless they're vegans trying to take my steak away from me, of course. If they don't like meat that much, why do they try and make it look and taste like it? Come on. I've got nothing against rabbit food, but it must be accompanied with bacon or beef.
Don't eat that soy shit. Fuck me, it'll kill you.
Oh, I know. You off, Obi? If I don't see you before, mate, I'll probably see you Sunday night on Paps Live. Oh, hello. I thought that was somebody trying to come in the door. It's the cat scratching in a litter tray. Right, be aware, guys, probably within the next 10 minutes, quarter of an hour, unless she's got hung up on traffic, I will be dropping out. Obviously, I'll say goodbye to everybody. I'm not just going to disappear. I shoot game, but I don't kill anything. I don't eat. Exactly, Bulldog. That's, you know, the farmers, they don't realise that farmers only shoot things either to eat or to protect the crops that they're growing. And that was the big problem a couple of years ago with that idiot that, what was his name? Bought in the thing that stopped the farmers shooting frigging pigeons. Chris Packham, that's it. And then it caused uproar because crops were being destroyed, so they repealed it. And he's supposed to be the environmental bloke, you know what I mean? Are you throwing up, cat? Oh, I hope she ain't making a mess out there. I'll be back in a sec. I'm just going to check to make sure she ain't dumped on the doormat like she normally does.
All right, Roger, leave me with a chat.
Yeah, you're in charge, mate.
Finally, I can talk. Oh, Joe. What do I say? Let's talk about fucking aliens. Yo! Oh.
I'm still here. I'm just clearing up the cat's mess.
So, just wanted to take this opportunity to pick up all the hybrids out there. All them people / fucking aliens watching what can't comment on this video because the masters won't let them comment on it. So, where's Roger?
No, the cat's got habit. If she can't get through the hole because she's too fat to get in the cupboard to a litter tray, she's got a habit of having a dump on the doormat. And if you don't notice it, someone opens the door and walks in and treads straight in it. Rig on, yeah.
Oh.
Who's saying that? What? How have we got onto aliens?
Wasn't me, Rog.
There's a load of alien faces in here. Holly, explain. Hang on. Let's whoa. Let's have a look up the chat. All right, and Paul, thank you for dropping in, mate. Muchly appreciated for the support, as I always say. And if I don't see you before, I'll see you Sunday night as well, Osman. I do that as well. So if we ever come and visit you, Lottie, we got to look where we stand when we walk through the door, yeah? Yes, HE. What? I suppose now you want to go out now you've had a dump in here. I trust him, Holly. I trust him. He does get a bit out of control sometimes, but that's more with himself. She's saying, why did I walk off and leave you in charge? Yeah, he's all right, Ollie. In fact, I think I was the first ever live that you came on camera, wasn't I, AMG? Yeah, I thought you were, because I remember you saying I've never been on a live on camera before. Nanu, yes. Shazbot. Come on, my little fruit bat. I only used to watch that for Pam Dorber, to be honest. And for those that don't know, that was the one that played Mindy. Shazbot. Oh, hello. If you look in the background, you can just see the brake lights pulling on the drive. So what I'll do, I'll let her come in and she'll probably just say hello to everybody, and then I'm going to drop out because we're going to have a nice evening together. But thank you, everybody, for dropping in. And most of you know how much I appreciate the support I get on this channel. I mean, we were up to about 26, 27 on here at one time then, which is good for me. I don't like them too big. She always wanted an egg. You can still get them, Lottie. It was around the 70s they started bringing them out. Yep, she is, Richard. I just saw that. That's how I knew she was coming in. I just saw the brake lights coming on the drive.
Can we end on mine? Can we end on my thing?
What was that, bud?
Can we end on my comments? I know you're going now, Roger. I know you're a believer. But stop. I'd just like to wish every hybrid out there a happy
I'll let her come in and say hello to everybody before I shut down. Do you want to come in and say hello to everybody, baby? Oh, she's got to get her stuff out of the car first.
You get neglected, don't you?
Yeah.
You do.
Thank you, Lottie. You're always welcome, my darling. And my mate Mark there. We're trying to have a catch up over the weekend, Mark. If I remember, I'll try and give you a bell sometime. We haven't done that for a while.
Roger,
yes,
before you
mate.
go, imagine being trapped on a fucking craft. When you're sent out for a mission and your only life is in that craft. What your hybrid, they make you to be a hybrid for the craft, so you're stuck in the craft. And
I didn't have any labels on my test tube.
People think like Earth is like a paradise, but there's people trapped on crafts. what the fucking grazed fucking
Thank you, Holly.
hybrids is.
I don't know how much she's bringing in. Sizzlers, yeah.
They're like a bacon butter, this. Woo!
Oh, you've got quite a few still in here. HE Media's still in. Lost Souls is still in. Nick's still in. Matt Walker's just joining in as I sit down to turn it off. Who else we got in here? Mark Thompson, James Palmer.
Good afternoon, everyone.
You're right, Mrs. Roger.
I'm good, thank you.
Oh, Tiffany's still there as well, and Brian.
You're still there, Tiff.
Well, I was just going to shut down before you came in, but I saw the car coming up. I said, I'll keep going until you come in. So.
Hi, Brian. Lost Souls.
That's all right, Matt.
Ed Mark. Jack Tom. Hi. Mwah, 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 mwah. You're all beautiful. I'll let him say goodbye. I'm going to sit and have a cigarette.
All right, and guys, AMG, appreciate you coming on the channel, mate. Absolutely brilliant. And to everybody in the chat, if I don't catch up with anybody tomorrow or what have you, you might not see me now till Sunday. No, thank you, Lost Souls. I mean, I only come on here. It's you guys that come in that make it. It really does. I'm just sat here hosting it. It's you guys that make it for me.
Can I just say one word before I go?
You can, mate.
Big up the hybrids.
Thanks all for the night. Yeah, it's been nice, Tiff, and I don't think it would have happened if I hadn't have blocked him yesterday. So it's been absolutely brilliant. Thank you, Lottie, and thank you for your support, Matt, HE, Lost Souls, Tiffany. Nice to see you joining in on the lives, James. That does make it a little bit better. You know, I've known you personally for some time. Mark, obviously, Amanda, she's always a very active person in the channel. Danny, of course. Who else we got up the list? Richard. Yeah, you're a pain in the ass, but hey, we put up with you, don't we, mate? Nick GB as well. I think they're still in here. I think I've gone not too far up the list then. Right, guys, that's it. I'm going to call it. And until the next time, as I always say, be safe, be strong, be free. Love to you all.